Once more, let's peek from behind the curtain. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone this fine Wednesday evening? I'll tell you how I am. I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm not quite sure why. But more importantly, I'm in fantastic mood because John Jada Duran once again is Aston Villa's hero. I haven't been this excited about Colombian for like 11 years. The less said about that, the better. And we have loads of people in already this year. I'm amazed. DM Bassist obviously heard us shouting out Levi early on, and he's just blew everyone out the water by being here before the stream started. What a gentleman. Lovely to see you in. We have Levi in, of course. RJ is in. Hungermin is here as well. We've got Adam. We've got ACAB Europe. ACAB, who had the joy of watching me still on stream on Monday evening because I forgot to end it on my end. So whilst we went off and raided Rich and we were having a lovely time chatting to Rich, apparently I was still on camera. Bless you very much, and thank you for raising it as well. That was very much appreciated because that could have stayed on for quite a while had I not been told otherwise. Got No Gamers in as well. We have the Kfez over on YouTube is in. We've got Johnny Trotter in. We've got some fantastic people in this evening. Lovely to see you all. Tatsugiri is in as well. Tatsugiri, Duran is some player. You must be disappointed that it never quite came to fruition with West Ham, which is a bit of a shame. Well, for you guys, it's a shame. I'm delighted, to be honest. He's a player that I genuinely would like us to start him ahead of Watkins. Watkins off the ball movement frustrates the hell out of me. Whereas John Duran makes those moves that pulls defenders away, creates spaces for the carriers. He's a really selfish player otherwise, but in those moments he's fantastic. Now the big question we've got going on is pimiento a cheese? Oh, okay. No, we've already got it found out. It's pimiento cheese. I'm guessing, though, it must be like a peppered cheese, like a pepper jack, I think, that they have over in America. So, Red App is in as well. The stream will be your first podcast whilst in traffic. 1 hour to go in traffic. That's awful. Lovely to see you in, though, Red App. Or hear you in. Well, I won't hear you. I'll read you in, and you'll hear me. I'm not sure if that's lovely. I don't want to hear myself, so there we go. Traction, Adam is in. Good evening. How are you, sire? An absolute gentleman. So, J.H. Fez has unfortunately been sacked in his save, but he does have a plan. So the plan, I asked whether it was going to be revenge. Revenge is always best. He says that it would have been fun to start a save with a rival, just for the sake of it. But as a Liverpool and Star Wars fan, there's one thing to say about Duran. Oh, this isn't related to the save. Fair enough. It's the Divock Origi is strong with this one. That is fair. There are certain elements of that super sub chaos player that you've got to love, don't you? And YouTube, I'm sure you can see it popping up in the chat right now. We have some hellos coming forward from RJ and Johnny Trotter. So what we shall do, we've got a couple of things redeemed already. We've got a Guess the Player redeemed. We've got an Only Connect redeemed. So we're going to head into those off the bat. Then we'll give you a little bit of a recap as to where we're going. There is also a hydrate. I have been hydrating, guys. So that is absolutely fantastic. And yes, Tatsugiri, thank you for reminding me. So the question of the day is, who are some lesser known streamers or YouTubers that you recommend? Ideally ones that aren't particularly out there in the ether thing. Essentially, I'm looking for recommendations to watch myself. You see that during the breaks and before the stream, I have those recommendations out there as well. And I want to change them on a 4-weekly basis. So every week we've changed which of those 4 has been the feature in each section. And we've just done a whole 4 weeks so far. So it's going to be a whole new load there. I've already got people that I plan to pop in there, but it'd be lovely to have some recommendations, things that I can perhaps look into a little bit. So that'd be cool. And Tatsugiri has immediately recommended Stinger, which is a great shout. His current like weird and wonderful tactics series is fantastic stuff. Anyway, so let's get into Guess the Player. So I do see that give us a tutorial for Play Your Stats Right. ACAB, what we'll do is we'll do that. Remind me before the stream ends. So we've got a couple of games queued up. We'll do those games first. Then we'll actually play some FM. I know. Who wants to play FM? And then we'll look to do the play your stats right a little bit later, if that's okay. So hydrate times 3. Only FM. only FM. Well, I mean, you could recommend others as well, but I think that I'm likely to stick with kind of FM recommendations if possible. So The Crew is my recommendation for some more nonsensical FM. That's a fantastic suggestion. Adam says, it never occurred to me they were on rotation. I thought they were just random. So I'm not quite clever enough to work out how to do it randomly. But that would have been the perfect way to have it all sorted out. But sadly not. TM Basis says, ooh, who actually plays FM? Exactly. It's not the spirit of things, is it? I mean, that FM is just the vehicle for us to chat, let's be honest. No one really cares about the actual game part of it. So MustermannFM is my recommendation then, says RJ. I'm your only FM stream. Well, I feel honoured, thank you very much. Vulcan, by the way, good evening. I hope you're doing well. And Slurp is in as well. Great timing, guys. We're just about to start the first mini game. So Wahi, hello. How are we? We're good, Slurp. We're good. We're a little bit sleepy. Not sure why, but we're in very, very fine fettle otherwise. And apparently, I am honoured to be the only one. I'm kind of glad as well, because you can't see what actual real professional people who do things well are like. People who don't accidentally leave their stream on whilst they're doing everything else in their evening, or who remember which scenes to switch to. Because Lord knows if you saw someone competent, you'd definitely never be back. Jim Papas is in. Good evening, Milanek. How are you? I am okay. So Tatsugiri, Games Tell Stories was good, but I'm not sure what happened. Yes, Kirk was absolutely lovely. I really enjoyed his approach to things. I know that he made a short comeback, and he did a couple of non-FM things as well for a little while. But that yeah, it'd be lovely to have him back. Maybe, who knows? Maybe with FM25 eventually, the mojo will return. We can only hope. Right, so let's explain Guess the Player in case there was anyone here that doesn't know what's happening here. You're going to see 5 screenshots from a player's profile. Your job is to guess who the player is. You'll see those photos one after a time. The earlier you get it, the more points you get. Those points get you on that leaderboard just down there. Nice and simple. We're keeping the explanations really short this time round. We're just going to head straight into it. So ACAB enjoyed the vaping scene. It was certainly something unique, hey? Don't encourage that behaviour. DM Basis, you'll be proud. I found a really, really useful use for vaping. I currently now it doubles up as a guitar slide. It doesn't sound particularly good, but it sounds better than trying to slide with other things like pop cans or anything like that. So we've got some early guesses coming in. Red App thinks it might be Pedro Gonçalves, and that's a good guess. I mean, it's right-footed, left-sided inside forward, can play anywhere across the midfield, both attacking midfield and central midfield. Can even play a little bit deeper as well as up front. It isn't, but it is a fantastic guess. So Amuzu, it isn't Amuzu, it isn't Muller, it isn't Rashford, but these are some fabulous guesses coming in. A 3-star player, I don't know. I think it's, I'll be honest, I think they've been generous calling him a 3-star player, just to give you a little hint off the bat. I don't know if I'd necessarily agree with that. Obviously, it's relative to the team that they were playing for. We have to take over the team to get these reports with the stuff that I do, so it is relative, I suppose. So Vaclav Cherny was a guess. It's fine. He is right wing, but I think we saw yesterday on Monday even with Yan Kutu. Yan Kutu was natural as a defender right and a wing back right, but the position it had automatically selected was midfield. So maybe. Arnautovic. Oh, that's an interesting guess. It is not Arnautovic, I'm afraid. Let's head on forward, see if this helps at all. I'm not sure it necessarily does, because a winger who's quite quick and not very good at defending doesn't necessarily, an inside forward who's quite quick and not necessarily good at defending isn't the greatest of clues whatsoever. So Hung Min has gone for Rashford. Unfortunately, it's not Rashford. It's not Florian Wirtz either. Florian Wirtz is such a good player, isn't he? He's going to have an incredible career. Slurp is guessing Doku. It isn't Jeremy Doku. I think Jeremy Doku's speed would be right up the top, wouldn't he? He's a nippy boy who can dribble quite well and has truly awful decision making. So an inside forward who's not defending. Curious, says RJ. Indeed. Hung Min has also mentioned Pedro Gonçalves. Sadly, it's not Gonçalves, I'm afraid. Is it Rafael Leal, says Jim over on YouTube. It isn't Rafael Leal, but a fantastic guess as well. We've got Garnacho. We've got Baumgartner of RB Leipzig as a guess. That's a fine guess as well. I would say it's not Baumgartner, but I would certainly say that you're more in the right ballpark in terms of level of quality. We're looking a little bit lower than your Florian Wirtz's, your Pedro Gonçalves. Let's see if the league helps a little bit there. So Red App has gone for Pulisic. Pulisic would be interesting. What a cracking player he's turned out to be when he's not at Chelsea. Everywhere else he's quite good. So is it Zaccagni, I guess, is Balkan FM. Now, Balkan FM is usually quite good at this. He stays quiet and then comes in with the right answer. Unfortunately, it's not. We do now have the league there. So Hunderman has gone for El Canoes. It isn't El Canoes, but that. I like that guess indeed. DM Baser says, it's someone a bit shit apparently, but doesn't narrow it down now. It doesn't at all, unfortunately. So Hunderman has gone for Noah Lang. Fizzy has gone for Igor Pagshao. And Tatsugiri has gone for Bergwijn, but it did actually turn out to narrow it down because there is a winner. ECAB Europe? ECAB Europe even. It's got it right. It is indeed the son of former Netherlands international Mark. It's Ruben van Bommel, who, like, Ruben van Bommel looks like his dad, but for some reason I didn't expect him to. Like, I think there's something about like Mark van Bommel being a central midfielder and Ruben being a winger that I thought they just looked completely different. I don't know why. But it is, they've got the same hair, exactly, RJ. And that kind of, the same kind of facial shape as well. That's how genetics works, isn't it? Let's be fair. But a fantastic guess from ACAB Europe. A big, strong 3 points right off the bat. Indeed, Balkan is right. There's a definite clap. It's AZ, not PSV. Indeed, that is true as well. Sad. Nice play indeed. There's a thumbs up from Johnny Trotter as well. That's a nice strong start. We've gone a little bit, not, I wouldn't necessarily call them obscure this time round, but a little bit less obvious as we're kind of midway through the week. Now, we also had Only Connect redeemed, so let's do a little bit of Only Connect as well. And this one I think should be good fun. So let me select the thing there. Again, for those that don't know, let me explain how it works. You're going to see 4 pictures this time, one after another. They're all going to be football players. There is some form of connection between them. Your job is to guess, and the earlier you guess, the more points you get. The more points you get, scoreboard. It's the same thing as essentially what we explained earlier, but a different type of thing you're looking for. Now, I do have to point out that I don't think I saw RJ say DeMarco at any point. Are you okay, RJ? Are you like that's quite shocking, or did I just miss it? There was very much a good chance that because it was redeemed whilst we were in the start screen, I might have missed the DeMarco guess. Kwan is in. Good evening, Kwan. How are you doing? We need you in. We need you to bribe those refs. We dropped off a little bit towards the end on Monday. DM Basis, did Paul Gascoigne also offer them all some chicken and tiger bread? I feel like I've missed something there. Oh, do explain, DMB. Am I being slow? Johnny Trotter, I think DeMarco is over. I called it last stream after another interplayer. You can show DeMarco now so we can move on. Oh no. I feel like he can never show up now, because otherwise that would just feel like I'm being cruel and baiting you. So let's get into Only Connect. We have our very first showing here. Who is this fine person? This is where we're testing your knowledge a little bit. I know that you're pretty good on the in the realms of men's football, but how are we when it comes to women's football? No, and it was probably a bit in poor taste, says DM Basis. Gaza famously turned up to try and help end the Raoul Moat murder siege with some. Did he turn up with chicken and bread? I know it was weird that he knew Raoul Moat and he was there as kind of like, he tried to be like a hostage negotiator. I didn't realise he turned up with some chicken and bread. That is incredible. There is zero knowledge, says RJ, but DM Bassist has the knowledge. It is indeed Ada Hagerberg. I assume it's, I don't actually know how it's pronounced, but it is indeed Ada Hagerberg, and that's how we're going to say it for the rest of the stream. And Johnny Trotter is right, as well as Guard Geek. Good evening, Guard Geek. Lovely to see to see you in. ACAB is guessing that they've had relations with Freddie Adu. Now that is a salacious claim indeed. I don't know. I don't want to ask, but it's quite possible. It is quite possible. So the Quez has guessed Champions League winners. Adam has guessed top scorers for their countries. The Quez has guessed Ballon d'Or winner, as has Hung Min. Supreme Kwan has gone for brother plays professionally, and the Quez has gone for successful siblings. Who is Hagerberg's sibling? I feel like, is there a famous male Hagerberg? So, you are right, the Quez and Hung Min. They are all Ballon d'Or winners. But what is the name of the women's Ballon d'Or? Just to make it a little bit more harsh on you. It's going to be a 5-pointer. If it helps anyone at all, we'll show you the next one anyway. But it is for 5 points for the Quez or Hung Min here. What is the female Ballon d'Or called? Am I being unfair? I mean, I'm not being that unfair. Google's only a short type away. DM Basis is right. It is indeed the Ballon d'Or Feminine. These are all. We had Megan Rapinoe. We have Alexia Putellas. And we have the wonderful, the glorious Aitana Bonmati. I am such a big Bonmati stan. It is disgraceful how much I enjoy watching her play. Just so graceful. It's like genuinely the female Xavi. It's such a joy to watch. So best player in the world, guessed Jim Pappas. That would be fair indeed. That is, they were the Ballon d'Or Feminine. They weren't just Ballon d'Or Feminine winners. They are the only Ballon d'Or Feminine winners. Ada Hegerberg won it in 2018, Rapinoe in 2019. COVID meant there wasn't one for 2020. And then Putellas in 21 and 22, Bonmati back-to-back 23 and 24. And obviously we should get a new one soon. So I think that it was indeed Quez who got in there first, again just pipping Hung Min to the post. It seems every single time, Hung Min, you're just a second behind. It feels so cruel. They are all fantastic. I'm glad that women's football is getting more and more exposure. I agree with you absolutely 100%, DM Basis. Like, I don't care too much for international football in the men's game. I think it generally tends to be quite boring and stale, especially as you get towards the later stages of competitions where teams don't really want to risk it because there's so much at stake. Whereas women's international football is this really exciting, open, energetic game, and it's just like it's night and day difference between the two. So what have we got there? All nice players has Hung Min. Indeed, 2 Barca feminine players too as well. They have absolutely dominated for the last 4 years. Quez says it would have been embarrassing if I didn't get this. My family is from her hometown. Fair enough. That does put a little bit of pressure on you. Maybe Xavi was the male Bonmati. That is fair. That is fair. The only way I would argue otherwise is just, like chronological order. But yes, absolutely. I won't lie, I don't watch, says RJ. That's fair enough. You definitely should. When the next tournament comes around, just give it a little bit of time. It's good fun. In fact, that's one of the tactics videos that I want to go on and do at some point is going to be Sonia Bonpastor, who's currently managing Chelsea Women. I was previously at Lyon with some of my favourite players. Out on the right wing, they have a player called Delphine Cascarino. Now, she was born around the time that Tony Cascarino was playing in France, but apparently isn't related whatsoever. Now, I don't want to make any suggestions whatsoever, but I just find that the number of Cascarinos in France at that period feels like it might have been relatively small. For Delphine Cascarino to be this amazing tricky winger, it just feels too right. So while the men's Euros wasn't that bad, the Euros wasn't too bad. It does still get a little. I find it. It's just a personal thing. Ireland just sacked manager of women's team after failing to make the Euros. Did they? Who was the manager of the Ireland's women's team? Cascarino is indeed so fucking good. Does she qualify for Ireland? Apparently not. She's a full international, unfortunately, for France, so we'll never find out. But, I mean, it is very, very typical, especially in the modern day, for Irish players to actually turn out for other national sides. So it's quite plausible. Right, so where were we? When we left off on Monday, we had just qualified for the semi-final of the Liigacup. We won our first 3 games. They're quite fun games. A nice dominant 3-1 win over Nistan. Let's see, how long is it going to take to open? Come on, you know you can do it. So a 3-1 win over Nistan, really dominant. 3.343 XG. They scored, they pulled one back and then had a player sent off. It was otherwise pretty safe from there. We then played away from home against the best team in Finland, HJK. We won 3-2. A nervy second half. We took a 2-0 lead. They pulled one back. Then right at the death, we restored our 2-goal cushion before an immediate another goal for HJK. But again, look at that. We won the XG battle. We had fewer shots, but we generally did okay. And then we had a 5-2 win over TPS. They've just been promoted this season. They scored with their only 2 shots on target. And they were both equalisers. We scored, they equalised, we scored, they equalised within a minute. Eventually, we put it all to bed as the game went on. Another 3.26 XG. And then it went wrong. We played Ekenas. We conceded the first shot they had. Then we conceded the second shot on target that they had. And we lost at home 2-0 against a team we really should have been beating. And then we lost 1-0 to Interturku from a penalty in the opening 10 minutes. Interturku hadn't picked up a single point in the tournament so far. Another 2.23 XG wasted. So we need to get back into the swing of things. We had 2 weeks between our games, so our semi-final against Ilves. So I scheduled a friendly against Sandefjord of Norway. There we go. Look at Hans Erik Ødegaard there. There is a man who looks dishevelled. What a fabulous looking being he is. And we've reverted back a little bit. So I was trying to work out what changed between game 3 and game 4 that we kind of lost our way a little bit. And it kind of falls on me, I think. I think I've got to take the blame. You see, I was unhappy that the Trequartista hadn't been particularly involved in the previous couple of games as much as I would have liked, so I changed it to a couple of other roles, and we lost a little bit of our flow. So we're going back to the Trequartista. Now, I would also like to point out that I'm not going to take all of the blame, though. There are some others that I think deserve some blame. I feel like Krodmo, he's not even here this evening. He went off to play five-a-side football and our form suddenly plummeted, so he deserves a fair share of the blame. I think all of you deserve the blame as well. You redeemed all of the games, so I think by the time our form dropped, there were no more mini games to play. So it's clearly all your fault and not mine whatsoever. That's what we're going with, right? So obviously not being serious there. So Helen Gleeson, she wasn't manager that got Ireland to the World Cup. She took over from Vera Poor. Fair enough. I hate to see Ireland to miss the Euros after watching them at the World Cup in 23, but fair play to Wales for beating them. At least it's another home nation. That Turku loss is so random. It really was Tatsugiri. Absolute kick in the stomach as well. It is the father of the Ødegaard. That does make great sense. I mean, how many Ødegaards are there? Actually, say that there's quite a few Ødegaards. We have a Thomas Ødegaard, who's a head physio for Norway. We were also recommended an Ødegaard in one of our news articles at some point as well. Which Ødegaard was it? Was it Magnar Ødegaard? He apparently doesn't appear to be. No, it was Jorgen Ødegaard. No, it wasn't. Who knows? It was an Ødegaard, but it evidently isn't related there. So what else has happened since we've been gone? We have had some transfer news. So we had a gentleman on trial, called Jakob Pritz. He kind of was fine, but nothing really special. We played him in that game against Sandefjord, didn't really have much to do. He wanted quite a sizable wage. He asked for around €1,000 per week. I think we could have got that down to a lot more manageable, but really, he hadn't done anything to convince me there was need. So we let his trial end, and then we spoke to the director of football. He recommended Lasse Schultz. Lasse Schultz is currently at Greuther easy for me to say, Greuther Fürth. He's been doing okay, be it for the second team, so not a real team there that's been judged on. He was on loan at Viborg the previous season where he played a little bit. He's finished. He seems kind of okay, so we'll give him a chance to possibly win out the job over Riikonen. At worst, if he can inspire Riikonen to hit some good form like happened last season, then that'd be great. The other thing that happened is we accepted a bid from Cups for Robin Sid. Robin Sid said he was really excited to move to Cups, and then he rejected them like the bastard that he is. So it looks like he is going to stay as our starter. Hank the Tank, sir, good evening. How are you? Crudmo out, absolutely. So no more backup goalkeeper. Oh, never mind. So yeah, we've got a backup goalkeeper. I've moved our young goalkeeper back down to the under-20s to make sure that he's getting the game time and he's not being disrupted by, like, he loses out on first team training because he's going to a game, and yeah, just have it all nice and straightforward. Dahlstrom picked up an injury during that 2 weeks, just a short one, but he's a little bit short of fitness. But otherwise, we're going back to normal. Sid keeps his place in the starting lineup because he's been the best performer in that role. And hopefully one day we'll actually see someone come in with a good bid that he wants to go for. So let's head into it finally. And we're going with our more attacking home version. So that will probably need to be adjusted as soon as we get battered early on. What do I want to say to them? I want to say, is there an option? There is an option to talk about revenge. Pump fists. Let's get revenge. And actually, most of these players were here, so that's fine. And these two, let's say that I've got faith. There's a positive reaction for one of them. Right, this is going to be it. This is going to be the moment. I'm loving their badge, says ACAP. Absolutely. It is without doubt the best in Finland, at least. Ilves to start. Oof indeed. We have lost to them 3 out of our 4 games. I think every game has been won by 2 goals. They won 2-0 in the Cup against us last year, this exact same fixture in the semi-finals. They beat us 4-2 at home in the league. We beat them 2-0 at their place in the league. And then they beat us 2-0 at their place in the championship group. So yeah, it has very much been in their favour up until now. But it's been a pretty uneventful opening. We've had that chance from Dahlstrom. There's a bit of a loose ball from him now. Vertinen is on the ball deep. Plays it out wide to Aspegren. Pushes it forwards. Bulgakov cuts inside. They're not playing Juninho at left back. I wonder if Juninho has been sold or whether he's just missing. It's a ball through. Olawale. Oh, bad first touch, unfortunately. But Sid scores a goal.
Well, here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Liquor loves you more than you will know.
Sid, good luck. The redemption arc is here. Takes it early. Vertinen almost certainly should have saved that, but he was caught off guard. And Robin Sid, Sir Robin of Sid, what a legend he is. There we go. You can see the Dahlstrom profile. There is only a Dahlstrom profile currently, unfortunately. As I haven't quite been able to work out the logistics for how to do it with multiple, because if you have multiple, you're going to end up with like one that takes priority over the other and stuff. There's some things I need to work out, but it works in concept, which is brilliant. And also, if there's anyone over on, actually, let me do this over on YouTube. I do believe that it should work over on YouTube as well. Fingers crossed. Does it work? Yes, it does. So, those guys on YouTube, unfortunately, we've only got the Dahlstrom command, so you can only see one profile at the moment, but we do have a way to get commands to work on YouTube. I spent far too long to be able to just get one to work, but eventually we'll get there, right? So that was a pretty dull half, but we're 1-0 up, so I can't complain. 5 shots in total, a combined 0.22 XG. I am more than happy with that. The momentum has very much been in their favour. Let's see where the ball is going with Ilves. Is it mainly deep? It isn't. They're getting a lot of joy down the left, and a reasonable amount through to Abloy Kante. Can we see his pass combinations? The best combination is actually Aspergren and Vitelli. Vitelli's inside. Right, so we've got to be mindful of their progression down their left. That was a good first half performance. That's exactly what I want. So yes, the command works. It's brilliant. That's actually really cool. Fabulous. I think it'd be quite nice to be able to have ways that you can access it without, like during games. So hopefully, fingers crossed. So now we can hide Mustermann when we feel like it. Well, more importantly, I can hide myself when I feel like it. I mean, granted, I do have my face on screen, but it is rather small compared to other streamers. I do feel that the less of my face, the better. Right, Ilves are going big. They've made 3 substitutions at half time, not bringing off any of the players that we were concerned about. So it's Aspergren. Let's try and push the guys over to the right. No, let them play it to the left. They haven't had a shot on target. Let them play it to the left. What am I thinking? What I'm thinking is they're now going to score a goal immediately from their left. Jake, the quiz. None of the other commands work yet. This was my chance to test whether it works. I can't get the chat client to link up to YouTube whilst I'm not live. So now I know it works. I can then get all the other commands going over, which was brilliant. I thought Lundberg worked too, since he was on the screen in the beginning. So you can see that we have it already set up for the others to work, which is cool. As Fonsell, can he makes it 2-0? Fonsell makes it 2-0. We don't have a song for him. Beautiful stuff. Is that his first goal? It is his first goal. It even says it on the commentary. My word, with his weaker foot as well. Inquist plays it into Lundberg. Lundberg has the presence of mind to play it to Fonsell. He takes a touch, then with his weaker foot in at the near post. Boom! Cup final, here we come. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I can only assume the Dahlstrom Pizza charts is getting updated after each match. You can assume all you like, Adam. That is currently last season's one, and I'm probably going to do at the end of competition, halfway through the league, when the league splits. So there's kind of at stages. Right, into the last 20 minutes. They've had a shot on target. It's not been a classic game by any stretch of the imagination. Dahlstrom returning from his little calf strain or whatever it was, looking a little bit tired, so he can come on. We can also bring Savalainen on for Enquist, who's also looking a bit tired there. So that again, bit too early to start trying to shut up shop. So another shot saved by Virtanen. Here we go into the last 10 minutes. Popovic on the corner, crosses it in, it's flat, it's hard, it hits the post from Huttunen. That was a big chance for Ilves. We survive. Right, here comes the last couple of changes. Well, at least one more change, which is going to be Adam Larsson. And then we're going to bring Forsström is back from injury. He was out for quite a while. We're going to bring him on into midfield because that's where our players are tired. And we're going to do the same with... so we can have Rockman playing in that role. That will do that. 5 minutes to go. Let's turn that up. Drop that down. Trust you to make the difference. Adam Larsson is feeling positive. Successful bribery from Kwan. See, this is what we needed. Paid the Ilves players this time. Much appreciated. As we head away the corner. No, they get that. I thought that was us defending there. So we've got to be pretty happy with that. Revenge is sweet. Robin Sid back from the dead. I mean, he wasn't dead, but like metaphorically dead. 0.36 XG, 2 goals. It's penance. We deserve this for the amount of XG we squandered last time round. Night of Nears in, evening, having a warm meal for dinner. How's the cold revenge going? The cold revenge is going very well. It's going so well, in fact. We're gonna win the fucking league. You are right, DM bassist. We are gonna win the fucking league. Beautiful stuff. Oh, well, we're gonna win the fucking Liigacup. Kind of has the same kind of had the same ring to it. And Hung Min says it as well. We're going to win the league. Sid performing, the refs all bribed. Owners spent all the money to bribe the players. That's why the budget was low. That was indeed. And I am fully 100% behind it. Oh, and we've got TPS. So that's the team we beat 5-2, wasn't it? That's got to feel like a nice final matchup. It's 2 weeks away as well. So let's do the standard, giving everyone a little bit of rest. Let's pop a friendly in between as well. So let's see. I don't want a team that's going to absolutely destroy us. So maybe we head out to Sweden. Or well, we invite a Swedish club over. Let's bring in No Porking. No Porking can come in. So come on, Mariehamn. Good evening, Danny. Good evening, Danny. A cup is a cup. It is indeed. I would be delighted with any trophy we can get our hands on. And this is a pretty good chance for us to get our hands on a trophy there. Let's just pop that there. Mariehamn, Marieho, Mariehu, Mariehamn. Indeed. It's just, it's so fun to remember. That cracks me up every time you play it. It cracks me up once I've recovered from the workout that comes with it. Oh no. So we haven't got TPS, we've got Lati. Okay, that's fine. Were Lati in our group? They weren't, were they? No. But we do have a reasonable history against them, I feel like. We've won 3, we've drawn 1. There are goals, there are often goals in these games. So that seems encouraging. We've got a friendly in between. We've got to be happy with that. Also, I've just seen that Water Poznan are playing at home on Saturday. I wonder how upset the wife would be if I got tickets for that. Oh, you've got to get tickets for that. She'll understand, right? She'll understand. When is it that you fly out? Groundsman asked for, yeah, pitch can stay the same size. Now TPS can click the revenge team talk against you. Well, that's true. That's true. Maybe we should be grateful it isn't TPS. No Porking, says Adamo. Disappointing. It is. Well, look, I mean, my language at times can be a little bit vulgar, but I feel like I need to mark this up as a very different type of stream if there was Porking involved. Now, I do know that hot tub streams exist, so there's probably a market for it, but I'm not necessarily sure that I'm the one you want involved in that market. Tatsugiri, FC Santa Claus for friendly. We should have done. Or we can say, I mean, look, the way we go, it takes about 2 weeks, I think it did for us to get through the season. So that would bring us up to friendly time for season 3 around Christmas. So FC Santa Claus for a friendly nailed on next season. Absolutely. Hopefully you won't have a Lati trouble playing them, says Hank the Tank. Well done, that man. A fabulous pun. Did you find your GIF on your PC, by the way? No, I didn't. So the way that I created the GIF as well was I had to set out all the frames and literally animate everything. So I have the image of my face. A generic body was drawn quite quickly. And then I mapped it all out. I lined it up. I recorded that. I then put that into another piece of software to make it transparent. That didn't work, so I had to put a background behind it. Did all that. I then uploaded it to Twitch. And then at some point I must have gone, well, it's up on Twitch. I don't need to worry about keeping it. I'm not very good at keeping stuff on my PC. I don't like mess and clutter. So I will often delete things when I feel like I don't have a use for them anymore. And I regret that. I regret that a lot. I had a big old cleanup of my graphic design files. So everything's nice and organized after they got a little chaotic. And I buggered it up. Which essentially is that. So we fly out Friday afternoon, fly back on Monday. Perfect. Like, how is there a better way to like acclimate to Poland than to go and do something that the locals would be doing? And there's nothing more local than a game of football. Like, all you're doing is you're making sure you're sampling the culture properly. Less than £6 a ticket too. I mean, you probably don't even need to tell her. Just like, I mean, just turn up. Just say, we've got our plans. We're going here. Rock up. 12 quid for the 2 tickets. Beautiful. Don't even bat an eyelid. So we get to change our squad numbers finally. So nobody has any requests for numbers. And I'm absolutely certain that there's no one in chat who has any requests for numbers either, so we should be okay with that. Who are the players that have come in to be starters? So startery players is going to be Forstrom. He's been given the number 3 anyway, that's okay. Queetonen on 22 is all right. Goalkeeper numbers are fine. I suppose we could change Olawale. So if we make Olawale 3 and our left-sided centre-back 2, that should be all right. So how many qualifying rounds do we need for the Conference League, Arseka? I haven't even looked at it yet. We won't be playing until, actually, I suppose it is coming up to around June, July time, but I assume we're in right at the first round. We're the... Because I think third place are in the Conference League as well, so they get the proper qualifying route. We get the, I suppose, if you make a really, really, really amazing run, you can get in route. Yeah, we'll check that out in a moment. So, Olawale stays with 2, says Supreme Quan. Right, you've convinced me. Perfect. I think 3 would have been fine. I genuinely love having Olawale as 2. I just, I liked it with Ayu. I think that with Olawale, he's started as a wing-back for us. Look, he's more comfortable as a wing-back than he is as a right midfielder. It just feels right. It feels right. I'm so sorry, Adam. I'm so sorry. I'm quite happy to work out how to refund you for the subscription. Relayal is in. Good evening. How are you? We came for revenge. Not just did we come for revenge, we got revenge. We are now into the Liigacup final. We have beaten Ilves, who knocked us out in the semi-finals last year. This is a momentous moment. We are on the cusp of glory, I tell you. And that has never resulted in anything going wrong thereafter. Was that a suggestion for Dahlstrom as 21? Interesting. Now, what? I assume Dahlstrom's like 8. He's 6. No, I like 6 for a 6. It kind of makes sense. Right, Willie Nunes is on international duty with the under-18s. This is going to be our chance to get some game time for other players. So in comes Slayman. Rockman is going to play as a wing back just so that he's getting minutes, so that Skoglund can get minutes behind the striker. Juhi in for right, we'll swap. We'll make Dahlstrom the more defensive one. Savalainen in for Enquist. Forstrom back from injury. He can come in for... Queetonen's played a lot of games, which he wasn't meant to, but I think Reitenen's played more. And Lasse Schultz will come in. And that should be a good one. Now, I am going to play this game just so that I can manage the minutes. The assistant manager doesn't understand what I'm trying to do here, so this way is a little bit better for us to hopefully make those sweeping changes at halftime. So changing Olawale's number will change him also. Exactly, and we don't want that. Olawale is perfect as he is, as is Adam Larson. No, he's not. His shot was blocked. Delete your account. That is one way to do it. Absolutely. We're going to win the fucking cup, says DM Bassist. We are. Not going to give him the satisfaction. Perlo Dahlstrom. Right, I see why that does make sense. I do like 6 on him, though. I think it's nice. Him and the number 2 is united from now on. I'm glad you're with me on that one, Quan. We are. Like, I think we need more funky numbers. Like, 5 is fine. 3 for a defender. I quite like centre-backs having full-back numbers. Skoglund has picked up an injury. He can go through until half-time, though. It's only a minor one. No, okay, that was fine. I thought we were about to go behind. It's not been a classic game so far, that's for sure. Ooh, look at that XG. It's 0.3, 0.4. Oh, we're up to 0.6. There we go, not too awful. Skoglund has check rated some chances, 0.2 XA there. Larson, that's 0.2 XG, sorry. The top one is expected assists. That's a pretty pretty underwhelming. We need more from you guys. So which players come on? It's going to be Enquist on for Scotland, Rockman over, Savalainen out to the right. Akereke needs to come in now as well. He's going to come in for Machado. And all these other guys are nice and fit, so we will give it about 15 minutes before we make any more changes. 0.69 XG. Nice. Saving themselves for the cup final. That's exactly it. This is what I mean. It is a reserve team essentially out there, so it would be a little bit harsh to criticise too much. But there's Schultz on his debut, albeit in a friendly, just passing it casually to the opposition. Shabani is in, and that is 1-0 to no porking. The battle of the IFKs is currently going Sweden's way. When you win the league and become king of the league, you should force them to change their badge. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. We can do that, can't we? Really? So, didn't Dempsey wear 2? Also, he did. Yes. Should have given Dahlstrom 5 like Zidane or Bellingham. That's a good suggestion too. I'm quite happy with Dahlstrom with a 5. That would be cool. Thank you for the hydrate, Adam. As Adam Larson is denied by Limmotra. They've bought on their substitute goalkeeper is better than our substitute goalkeeper. That's disappointing to see. Or is he? Queetonen makes it 1-1. And that is about the hour mark, so that's a perfect time to make the changes. And it's pretty much going to be everyone. So Queetonen gets his rest now. Dahlstrom gets his rest. Sid comes on. Olawale. Lundberg and Ajala on for Juhi. Juhi is at full sharpness now. So we'll keep Savalainen out there so that his sharpness can hopefully improve. There we go. Nice goal. So Tiki Taka 4222. Hey man, big fan. Lovely to hear. Thank you very much. So where am I based? I'm in the UK, sir. I am not quite on the outskirts of London anymore. What is known as the home counties. Slayman should be 66. He's slaying in seasons in the Finnish abyss. He should indeed. That will be one we need to make a change for next season. I wonder if we're locked in right now. As Fonsell, that's an own goal, isn't it? That's not Fonsell scoring 2 and 2. Daniel Eade turns it into his own net. Enquist running down the right feeds Sid. Sid gets to the byline, crosses it low. And there, just the tip of his toe, Eade gets in ahead of Fonsell, but unfortunately steers it into his own net. Willie should be 69. Of course he should. Of course he should. I had my own number when I was a player, says RJ. I was 23, so whenever the coach wanted me to play, I was fine. Perfect. I was always... Well, I say I was always. I was usually 14. The way it tended to work was that the kits would be out there and you'd just be a little bit of a free-for-all. And like that, this happened at every club, in fact, I think I've been at. So youth levels, Sunday League, crappy Sunday League teams as well. You'd get the striker arguing over wanting to be number 9 with someone else. And I'd be able to sneak in and get number 14. No one wanted it. We were only allowed 3 subs. So it was literally the last number. But that was kind of like, I pretty much started every game. So that was my thing. Sorry, I'm missing something there. Willie should be 69. Willie should be 69. That's where we were. Where are the away counties? The away counties are further up. They're like really, really northern. It's where you kind of don't want to go. You don't want to go at all. Perfect. Can you please go pick up a bitch of an auntie of mine from Heathrow? I can't be bothered. Her flight arrives at 10:25 p.m. and she will be the fat one. Much appreciated, brother. We'll transfer you £17 for your effort. Fabulous. Thank you. I don't really want to do it, nor do I drive. But otherwise, I would have loved to. Sorry. I mean, at least he said please. Indeed, he did. I mean, Heathrow isn't really that close to me, unfortunately. Now, if you said Luton, I could have asked someone to go out that way. That might have been possible. I mean, everyone appreciates £17. Thierry Mustermann. That's exactly it. I played nothing like Thierry Henry. There is going to be no celebration song for a win in a friendly. Scotland's injury means he will miss the final. His quest for fitness continues. I'm going to remember to change the lineups now rather than forget ahead of the final and leave someone accidentally in. So that will be Fonsell, Dahlstrom, Jala at right wing back, Sid behind Lundberg and Olawale. Skoglund isn't going to make it. I don't think Nunes will be back, will he, by that point? He's due to return on the 26th. Okay, Willie Nunes will be back. He'll be in the squad. Can we change those numbers? Let's see. We can't. They're locked in now. What a shame. So how they do it? Always our keeper in every game saves 30% of shots. Opposite over 50%. This is cheap from AI. Well, I think it's, that's fine. We have bad goalkeepers, to be fair. And we've got bad finishers. I just chalk it down to the players at this level. No need to get wound up by it, that's for sure. It's not spam. It's not spam at all. Or it'd be very specific. That would be quite impressive spam, to be honest. To be able to get a bot who would be able to ask where someone is and then work out a piece of spam based on that location. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. No song is outrageous, says Adam. We've got to spare it for the right moments, right? We've definitely got to spare it for the right moments. So, Tiki Taka is asking Quan whether he would like to pick them up. I have a feeling that might be a little bit too far for Quan. Just a little too far. £18.34. The price is going up. Tatsugiri would go, but you're in Wales. Hank is in the States. Vulcan is from Greece, so that's a bit difficult too. She can wait. Apparently she's happy to wait. So there we go. Too busy watching streams. Sorry. Well, it's tomorrow, RJ, so it's fine. I won't be streaming. Only super patrons can avail of the airport taxi service. That is true. That is true. Now, I have to say, we are just about to head into a break. It's going to come in about 20 seconds. So we're about to shoot off for a second. But I've also just spotted a lovely gentleman in the chat. Why don't you go and give the beautiful, wonderful Dill 40k a like whilst I disappear for 3 minutes, and remember to hydrate, and then we'll come back and play some games. See you in a second. we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed the peace and quiet. I know I did. And that's the real reason I take these breaks. I have to listen to my voice when, like, I'm not streaming as well. And, you know, you get sick of it real quick, that's for sure. I completely appreciate that. So, Dill, I do apologise. Your timing was wonderful arriving. How are you, sir? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the kind word. I do love the player faces. I think it adds a nice little touch. How are you anyway this evening? Some good work in there. I noticed during the break. Thank the Tank calling me Mustard Man, and Johnny Trotter saying should be managing Dijon. That is elite pun work. There needs to be some way of recognising that. So Juve Man City, two big boys having a hard time lately. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff, isn't it? So that should be some really underwhelming fixtures earlier, wasn't it? I think it was it Atletico Madrid against Slovan Bratislava, and one other. They seem to be saving the best games for 8 PM, which makes sense, obviously. But there we go. So we are back, and Adam has redeemed Guess the Player. Again, let's keep the explanation for those that don't know nice and short. You're going to see 5 pictures from a player's profile in FM24. This is at the beginning of the game in FM24, so in real life they might have moved clubs, but otherwise it's going to be a player that you should be familiar with. Your job is to guess the player as early as possible. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. Those points pop you on that lovely little scoreboard down there. So let's kick it off. So Knight of Knee says, I do need to manage Dijon after that punt. It seems like it's only reasonable. That is the only reasonable way that we have to do it from here on in. So that will have to be the next Moneyball clinic, potentially. And RJ is back to form. DeMarco. There we go. It is not DeMarco, unfortunately, but I am pleased to see you say it once more. Watching Musterman is better than watching my favourite team. Oh, Quan. That's too kind. You're wrong. You're definitely wrong, but that is too kind. So, Gegenpressing has gone for Luke Shaw. Please say it's DeMarco. Adam wants it to be DeMarco. It isn't DeMarco. It isn't Luke Shaw, I'm afraid, either. It's not Andy Robertson. I mean wingback. So, it's Shimikas, Destiny Udogi, Davis? I mean, there's a lot of Davises. Is that Ben Davis? Ben Davis, is it? I don't know. Maybe. Balde is a guess from Hank the Tank. It's not Alphonso Davies. Of course, it isn't Alphonso Davies. I think we would have guessed by me not being a bit confused there. Is it Cucurella? It isn't Cucurella. It isn't Alfonso again. So Theo Hernandez. It isn't that either. Again, I think that the game has been quite generous with this player's star rating. Is it Ben Davis? It is not, unfortunately. But let's move on over, see if this helps whatsoever. It is shock horror, another fullback whose best quality is perhaps their speed. He's not that quick. I mean, I would add a guess, you'd probably say it's around the 13s or so. Otherwise, kind of all right, all round. Not the greatest attacking. So maybe it was Ben Davis, but it's not. Is it Mendes? Says Quan. It isn't Mendes. It's not Shaw either. Tyreek Mitchell is a great guess. It's not Tyreek Mitchell, but I do like Mitchell. So DM Basis has gone for David Raum. It isn't David Raum, but I think it might be in FM23. He was one of my favourite players to pick up. Nice and cheap, generally quite dependable. A cracking player. It's not Malasia either, unfortunately, Hank. This is going to be, I will tell you, this is probably a little trickier than we've had up until now. And I thought that about Ruben van Bommel, though. So you know, maybe it's not that tricky. Is it Lucas Hernandez, says RJ? It isn't Christensen either. Let's move on to the next, I guess. Oh. Let's not move on to the next guess. It's not Mittelstadt, I'm afraid. But it is. Now, you see, it was a little bit unfair me earlier saying, like, it's obviously not Davies, because I would have at least said something back when you guessed Alfonso and then Ben. But that's because it's not Davies, it's Davis. It's indeed Tatsugiri. It is Ipswich Town's Leif Davis. A phenomenal guess there. You got that just before we changed over as well. Incredible work. How on earth did you pull that one out? Whoa, genuinely, that is astonishing work. What a shout, says Balkan FM. Indeed. The rounds of applause are completely and utterly deserved. I've been FM'd, says Gegenpressing. Indeed. Today I learned that there's a footballer in the Premier League called Leif Davis. Exactly. Who would have thought? I'll be honest, when I see his name, I think of the Interpol song. I think that's Leif Erikson, the famous explorer guy. But yeah, Leif Davis, left back for Ipswich Town. I did not expect anyone to get that early. Incredible work. The Davis clue triggered something, evidently. Hats off to that. What a shout, says Danny. People wanted him in the Euro squad while he was in the Championship. I think, Adam, that speaks more to the lack of England's options at left back than it does necessarily to the quality of Leif Davis. Didn't he get a ton of assists last year in the Championship? He did indeed. He is a good player. That was a little harsh of me there, but he's done okay this season as well. He's a set piecey guy though, isn't he? You know, that kind of always boosts the numbers a little. I remember when I was younger, especially around the 01-02 years, I would just know all the footballers. Now there's so many names that I've just never heard of. You and me both, DMB. I think that's really one of the main drivers behind playing FM, is to make sure that I still know who some of these players are, just about. To be honest, that's probably why I played FM back in the 90s as well, so that I could pretend I knew more about footballers than I actually did. It kind of worked. So here we go. We are now just a week away from potentially our first bit of silverware in Season 2. Also, football update. The wife is not entirely against me going to see water. She said she'd come with me if we had more time. So whilst it likely won't happen, I'm not ruling it out. Interesting. That does sound promising. Oh, that would be good. That would be really, really good. Like a proper winter game as well in the middle of December. That'd be cracking. And what? It's only like 2 hours out of the day as well. So, you know, if she doesn't want to come with you, it's a pretty reasonable event to kind of split up. Go and do something that she wants to do. You go and do something you want to do. Then meet back and still have quite a reasonable bit of the day left. Perfect. I feel like I missed something, but I might not have done. We've lost the options for picking up somebody's aunt. That's a shame. So sorry that didn't happen, Tiki Taka. That looks like you'll have to do it yourself. A lovely trip to Heathrow the next day. Right, let's get a little poll going. Do we think that we can win? Can we win the Liigacup final? Now, I don't want to suggest that my reactions to you guys are going to be based upon this whatsoever, but it'll probably take us a few minutes to get there. Are we going to win? Are we feeling confident? Because unfortunately, I am feeling confident. And when I felt confident, that usually results in everything going wrong. That's going to be something we see. So, I was getting ready to swim the Atlantic to pick her up, says Hank. Okay, fair enough. Trossard's twin brother is the ref for the Juve Man City guy. Oh, the guy with the very, very visible bags. I know who you mean. So guys, what should I watch? Dortmund, Feyenoord, or Juve? This shout's coming in for Dortmund. I definitely want to go for the Dortmund for Feyenoord. Oh. Out for 3 to 7 months. Do we want to pay $5,000 for a player that we haven't been able to sell? We could pay $3,000 to give him some injections and for him to definitely be out for longer. Is an extra month worth $5,000? Finances is that one. It's 73 over. We're over our wage budget. 5 months. Okay, so 3 to 4 months is March, April, May, June. It's the end of June. So he'd be coming back around July. Now, he's not going to be match fit properly for all of July. It does bring him back coming towards the key part of the season. I think we do it. Sid is broke indeed. Rip Robin. Rip. The rips are coming in. F's in chat for Robin Sid. Poor lad. More like Robin sad, am I right? We love an injury, says Danny. We are certainly, it's something we excel at in this save, that's for sure. I don't think actually, so we had a pretty rough start of it, didn't we, this season? It feels like it's got better. Well, not that much better. February was our best month with 3 injuries. It has been grim. Has been grim, certainly. Thank God we signed Skoglund, who is also out currently. So good evening, Cockooks Melchers in. I've been in a bit of pickle in FM recently. I've played with data, but saw that Guillaume Restes, who I know is fantastic later on, is available on a free, despite having a minus 0.26 XG prevented per 90 in Ligue 2. Ligue 2? There we go, that's a mix between Ligue 2 and Ligue 2. I signed him. What are your thoughts on this? Feeling shameless? Well, you do what you feel is right. What you need to do is don't concentrate too much on the XG prevented per 90. Pick out a stat that he's good at, and then convince yourself that is the most important stat to you. That's the real trick. That is absolutely the real trick. Oh, you are all feeling confident. That's 100% that we're going to win the League Cup final. A loan offer for Willie. What's going on here? They're offering 60% of his wages, plus another 40 euros on top per week, essentially. What do I know about KPV Kokkola? They're in the Ikonen, so they are in competitive football. We will say yes. Larson is the backup. That means that we can get Willie Nunes some proper game time, hopefully. Injured, falling a fall. What did he fall off? A mountain. I mean, it is a pretty horrendous injury, isn't it? I'd make a deal like that if you know the player has the talent. There's nothing to say you can't bring better performances from him. Exactly. Oh my god, I jinked Sid. I think I jinked Sid by not managing to get rid of him somehow. What would be a good chant for Mariehamn? Well, I would say that Maria-he, Maria-who, Maria-ha, Maria-ham-ham. But then I'm going to be biased in that. I feel like there's one-time opportunity in my career, and I hope exactly this. Exactly, it's perfectly fair. Right, Skoglund is still a couple of days away, but he's going to be in the squad, and that means Rockman. There we go. We might end up looking for another attacking midfielder potentially as we head into the final. That is as good a squad as I think we can. Lundberg, could we start Slayman? We're not going to start young Slayman in a final. Lundberg is capable as an attacking midfielder apparently. Just something to be mindful of. We head now. These are the moments. I wish I had a suit on. Sprints per 90, minutes played. Exactly, minutes played. Definitely the one to go. Will he get play time, says RG? Well, hopefully so. Especially when not pre-filtering when looking at out-of-contract players. 100%. So the quiz says, found a player I knew had the best attributes available to me on a free. We had a ridiculously big sample size, 80 save percent and positive XGP, so it can happen that way too. Exactly. Right, here we go, lads. I'm feeling good. I remember Oluwayemi having some good games against us, but he also put up that stinker where we scored like 5 goals. Here we go. We're telling everyone we've got faith. We've got some decent reactions. Here we go, lads. Here we go. Arian Kabashi wins the best hair and beard competition. I didn't know there was one, but he definitely wins it. Rockman with his smirk gets his start. We've got an almost all drawn line up there. Here we go. Walking out. The moment. It's big. Believe, says Adam. Come on, you Mariehamn, says Balkan. I believe that we will win, says Hank. RJ, let's win this, lads. Here we go. Let's move this up. Let's move this up a little bit to more highlights. I want that tension. I want those highlights that go nowhere. Kuitunen plays it to Dahlstrom. He's got some space, and there's Ajala running down the right. He flips it in. Olawale. Lundberg is there at the far post. It's 9 minutes in. Mariehamn in a stadium that is clearly far too big for these teams. There is not a single fan in the stands to celebrate. Is there not a single fan in the stands? As Arvid Lundberg puts us 1-0 up. Oh my. It runs through. Olawale denied, barged off the ball, but Lundberg follows up, and that's 1-0. That is 1-0. Oh, we're going to win the fucking cup, says the M-Basis. We're going to win the fucking cup. Does this get a European spot? I don't think so, but I will check. The other cup does. The other cup does, I know for sure. I'm not 100% certain for this. Right. Is this quarantine football? All the fans watching on stream? Well, that is a good point. It's winter, isn't it, in Finland? So I am aware that a lot of the games in this competition are played indoors in real life. Now, that's not something that's modelled in FM at all. As Lundberg at the far post hits the post. Enquist here plays it across. Larty get in and they're able to maybe push forwards now. That was a big, big chance. Dahlstrom standing over the free kick. We're only 13 minutes into the game. We're peppering shots on them. A deflection takes it wide for a corner. Was it over for a corner? So maybe there are no fans at any of these games. We just haven't noticed. Because I don't know. Something definitely to look into. No, only the Finnish Cup, says Johnny, gets the European place. The fucking cup is ours, says Danny. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there. We are in Europe. That is true. But if we could get into Europe again, because I would imagine that the cup competitions are going to be the same as the league, so it'd be for the following year. But the thing with the fans in the cup finals happens also in Greece, sadly. Oh, that's a shame. I didn't notice that with the PAOK save. Kuitunen hits the post. That's twice now. Are we going to rue missing these chances? We have had some big, big chances. So am I planning on doing another series on YouTube like the PAOK one? I really enjoyed it. The mix of entertainment, role-playing as Laamanen. It is all headers at the far post, this game so far. I really enjoyed it. Mix of entertainment, role-playing, education and stupid jokes was perfect for me. So realistically, look Mano Pants, a series like that in that format for YouTube is probably not that likely. The PAOK Zaragoza series does intend to return with FM24 as long as we can move the games across. It may well end up being a stream series rather than a highly edited video one, because with the problem with the PAOK series is that I have a lot of ideas and I can still only get through a video a week. And being able to push out more of these things, looking into the tactical side, looking into certain managers, looking into kind of the Moneyball clinics kind of side of things, I couldn't get the PAOK series out regularly for it to be I love the support you guys gave me. Like, people were still watching 4-5 months later. Absolutely incredible. So that's certainly not a knock there, but in terms of I'd be able to release one of those and then I'd do a different subject the next week. And then there's another PAOK one, and you're looking at like 2 weeks between episodes. It just didn't feel right for the flow of things. So I certainly plan on having a series, but it may well end up being a bit more stream centered. Maybe there'll be some editing involved and some kind of like summaries, but I can't be 100% certain on that until we really know what things are going to look like in FM25 too. Right, so I'm happy we've dominated possession. True. Ajala is on a yellow card. We are going to ask him to ease off tackles. Ease off tackles. There we go. Let's play it safe a little bit in the second half. We'll bring Savalainen on at some point, and then he can go back to tackling like a madman. Even when counter-attacking, I want to distribute to centre-backs, full-backs. I get that. I get that completely. I quite like having my defenders being the ones that are sending the long balls forwards to begin with. But I like trying to bait the opposition onto us a little bit further too. So I think it's quite an effective way to counter-attack. In winter, the Finnish are all watching the ice hockey. That's true. That's true. Balkan says, with Riikonen in the goal, nothing will get past. #believe. We can only hope. We can only hope. That's a great block. I don't know who gets credited with it. Was that Fonsell or was that Olawale? It's still all set pieces this game. Towernan sends it in. Whiten gets it clear this time. Dahlstrom to the second ball. Hannanen plays it down. Towernan is in space. Whiten wants there again to clear. Seven shots from Lahti now. They've had the same amount of shots, but they've not been able to get any on target. It's just, I want to take us up a notch. I want us to be a little bit more intense. We haven't had that rhythm in the second half yet. And here we go. This might be our substitute coming up. Have we waited too long to make the substitution? Lahti back to Larmanen. Finds Kabashi. Kabashi. We've got two Kabashis on the field. Does the other Kabashi have as good a goatee and hair combination? That's the important question. He turns his man. Ivanovic feeds it in. Oh my word, that has got to be the worst finish I've seen so far. That is some shocking finishing. Right, so we wanted to bring Ajala off. Oh, now Rockman's injured. Our other attacking midfielder is injured. But Savalainen's coming on the left. No, he's not. Savalainen to come on the right. I'll put ease off tackles back on. Fonsella's left-footed, so he's going to go out onto the left. Now, is it a defender or a defensive midfielder? It's a defensive midfielder coming on in Adam Juhi. And then behind the striker, I don't want to risk Skoglund. It is Larsson. It is Larsson playing as a trequartista. That's two players out of position. Can't anything go wrong with that at all. Let's drop that tempo a little bit. Let's try and get a little bit more control from here on in. So we have had absolutely nothing this second half. Look at that. It's completely flatlined. But Lundberg stands over the free kick, sends it in. Can we get to the second ball? We can't. But Reiten, Lundberg. Arvid Lundberg. What a strike. What a strike into the top corner. Olawayemi had no chance. We've got our hands on the cup, boys. We've got our hands on the cup. It was a little bit weird. Some poor clearances. Lundberg then gets the ball, just stands there and waits before lashing it high past the keeper. We are going to win the fucking cup. Or are we? FC Lahti with a goal kick. It's picked up by us though, and Larsson plays it out. Lundberg, Fonsell now. Fonsell back inside to Juhi, just on as a substitute. Some nice quick interplay here. Machado. We seem to be quite content just to play it safe until we do something like that. Towernan has stepped in. Ivanovic crosses it across. Konkala, Riikonen with a great save. And he gathers the second one. Riikonen, you legend. You legend. Has this just changed the angle? Here we go. It was a shocking pass. Towernan steps in, moves inside, plays it to Ivanovic, who overlaps. Ivanovic feeds it to Konkala. It takes a wicked, massive deflection, but Riikonen reacts quickly. And that's it. What a star. What a star. Let's give him a little bit of praise for that. Oh my, what a save. Right, into the last 10 minutes. We're going to start wasting time now. We can't bring Lundberg off. We can't bring him off. He's on a hat-trick in a final. We can, however, bring Dahlstrom off. And that's going to see Forsström come back in. And we will save the last substitution so that we can waste a little bit more time in a few moments. Riikonen is back, I see. Yes, he is, Mr. Tunafish. We bought in a goalkeeper on loan. And now Riikonen is in immense form once more. Yanti tries to cross it. Can't get there. Towernan feeds Hertzi. Hertzi back to Towernan against the angle. Ooh, narrowly wide. Here we go. The last substitution is about to be made. It's going to be Queetonen. Queetonen's coming off. Okereke on. Forsström drops back because he can play on the left. Just injury time to go now. There was 5 minutes of injury time. 5 minutes. Almost up. It's a corner. Time has expired. Is this just going to be the full-time whistle? It's not. Fonsell sends it in. Reitenen. Olawale. It's claimed by the keeper. This has got to be it. It is. We are the champions. How about that? Now, we know what's going to happen in a moment. But For now, we need to just savour as we lift
It's
our
not
first
the statistics! It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind
coming in with the 5
on
gift
a needle?
subs to mark the occasion. What an incredible gentleman. He's gifted a subscription to Atom Zero, and to RDF Tactics, and to Josh Peach, and to Deco021, and to Largy24. You absolute legend. How about that for marking our first trophy with IFK Mariehamn? Oh my, I had no idea this was the championship game. It's the League Cup final, Mr. Tunafish. You have arrived. We finally beat Ilves. We got revenge on them knocking us out in the semi-finals last year by beating them 2-0. Now we've won the final 2-0. We have some fans. They all decided to stand up in the upper stands off camera. And now that we've lifted the trophy, we can, of course, do this.
It's not the statistics! It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
My arms are tired. They're now stuck in this motion, possibly for the rest of the stream. Oh, thank you, ACAB. ACAB is giving gift subscriptions to Xenon FM and Sunstruck Hermit. What an absolute legend. Almost as much of a legend as Arvid Lundberg. Is he now 18, 19? He might have just turned 19. He's not even 19 yet. He double in the cup final. And do we say something really mundane, just like congratulations? You did it. Enjoy the celebrations. How about that? How about that? We win the League Cup.
It's not the statistics!
2-0 win.
You tell me!
I think we've
How
won
do
it
you
once
measure
before.
somebody that could balance a
Mariehamn have
balloon
won it once
in a
before.
wind tunnel
No, they haven't.
on a needle?
That is their first ever Liga Cup. We've won the Swarman Cup. We've won the Valkes Liga in our past. And now we have our third ever trophy in the team's 106-year history. Our third ever trophy. Balkan has given her subscription to Connor Rood. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you absolute gentleman. Look, fans appeared. Yes, I realise I'm behind on the chat as always, let's be fair. So yes, there's no fans. We think it might be because the games are played indoors. Riikonen is the man when he's under pressure. He really is. This has clearly got to be our approach from here on in, is just have a lone goalkeeper's backup.
How do you
It's
measure
incredible.
somebody that could balance
Absolutely,
a balloon
what a save.
in a wind tunnel
huge
on a
moment.
needle?
Oh, and Hank the Tank has gifted a subscription to Rich Owens. Gentlemen, it's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. And Hank, you will be one to appreciate the commentary as well, because I can't remember his name, but we don't get him here over in the UK. Obviously through the perfectly legal streams that I occasionally watch, I have enjoyed his exceptionally verbose approach.
On a needle.
SGNG gives out a gift sub as well. This way to Deroy M0516. What a star. What a star. Oh my. Merch when? So you should say, it's funny you should say that. I do have merch designed, but I feel weird about it. Ray Hudson, that's the man's name. Ray Hudson. He is amazing. Right, okay, so the fallout of that game is we've lost Rockman for 4 weeks. We've only got one attacking. We had 3 attacking midfielders. We didn't need 3 attacking midfielders. We're now down to 0 attacking midfielders because Skoglund's still currently injured with his back muscle. He'll be fine by the time the season starts, but he's not going to be match fit. So that's a little bit of a shame. We might need to dip into the loan market to bring in a midfielder with Sid out and some real injury problems hitting us there. And yes, they sing our names. Daniel Enquist. Enquist picked up an injury. Did that happen as we were subbing him off? Oh my. Oh, he's out for 9 days. Thank you, Balkan. He still has his smirk. It's fine. Indeed. Indeed. So yeah, I have some references to some of the old videos as well. We've got some things, but want to make sure that they're standalone items, whether that's going to be actually, okay. You know what? The best way to celebrate a final is to play a round of Guess Your Stats Right, or Top Trumps, as it may otherwise be called. Kind of, it's a mixture between Play Your Cards Right and Top Trumps. And that's one of the things that I've been looking into doing is creating Moneyball Top Trump cards, which I think would be quite cool and fun. We've also got some t-shirt designs, some mug designs, and the idea is that they're not just like specific to me. They can be generic things that you would actually be able to have round the house or wear, and people wouldn't go, "What on earth is that?" In a bad way, anyway. So play your trumps right. Exactly, play your trumps right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because we always counter press. Exactly. The best time to win the ball back. Ball back. Give me my ball back. Right, play your trumps right. Let's head on over and do a little bit of this. Now I do need to do a little bit of setup here. So let's talk about how this works. Normally, if you would redeem, you pick a number between 1 and 4. Now, all you guys have been absolutely incredible. Loads and loads of gift subs given out. Thank you so much. I am going to, as Adam started the hype train with those amazing 5 community gift subs, I'm going to ask Adam to pick a number between 1 and 4. That's going to result in you getting a random card assigned to you. From there, you pick a category, and it's a case of the chat will guess via polls whether it's going to be higher or lower for the player that they're matched up against. So here we have an example of what a player's card is going to look like. We've got Giannis Konstantelios. I can't read that from here. Let's see if I can make this a little bit larger on this screen over here so I can actually read what's going on. He's in the 65th percentile for expected assists, and maybe he gets drawn up against a different player that you think he's going to have higher expected assists. So you go for expected assists, and then you're left in the fate of chat to vote on higher or lower. Now, chat might sink you. Chat might sink you. And if you get it wrong, you lose. If you get it right, you move on to another opposition. There are five different opponents through the wafer. So you have chosen number 3. That means I've now got to do these lovely bits. I need to delete number 1. I need to delete number 2. I need to delete number 4. Let's see. Right, versus widget. We can move this out, can we? Aha, okay. So there we go. You have selected Fruity George. Jorge de Frutos. Fruity George is your player. And he's going to be coming up for in the very first round against Ika Minayan. Now, obviously, what you see with Ika Minayan there isn't a real representation of what his metrics are. He's not in the 99th percentile for everything. Obviously, if you could see, that would make it really, really easy. So, Adam, I want you to choose a metric that you think chat will guess right, higher or lower. And you can influence chat as well. You can say, I'm picking this because I think it's higher. And just hope that they pull through. I remember when Mariehamn was the next big thing. He's kind of always been on that cusp, hasn't he? A really, really good player that never quite made that move up. Miss Bruce Forsyth, I see you said. It's so weird to think back that he might be the only TV presenter of that era to not be tainted with anything. Audience, ooh, indeed. We need a Trump dance video for the winner. Oh dear. That's the kind of thing that'll definitely lose me viewers. And that's an impressive feat, because generally speaking, everything I say or do should probably lose me viewers. So Mariehamn, it is a big red beard. That is a phenomenal beard. Adam, we trust you, says Balkan. There's lots of Barca links there indeed. The quiz, do we get to know what position they actually played or played the most? Maybe role 2. So in terms of this, they're all classified as attacking midfielders. That's as much as you get, I'm afraid. Yeah, like he still had a good career, just maybe not quite. Indeed. Also, Roy Walker. I don't want to hear anything bad about Roy Walker. That's fair. So Adam has gone for tackles 1. You think that it's going to be lower. So let's head on over, run a poll. New poll. Is Jorge de Frutas? Does Jorge de Frutas, Fruity George, have higher or lower tackles 1? Number 9. I can't fit all those words in. Tackles 1, higher or lower? There we go. And this will run for a whole minute. I will be keeping an eye on the chat over on YouTube. So YouTube, if you want to vote, all you need to do is you need to let us know in chat, and I will tally them up on top of the poll as well. So each round you are correct, you will get a point. There are a total of 5 points. If we end up losing, we can redeem again and we can carry where we left off. So we will discard. If we lose on this one, we'll end up discarding Mooney and moving on to the next battle anyway. But new player at that point, new person potentially getting the points. So, Big Red Beard, my ears are burning. Morning all, good evening. Good morning even, Lou. You just said morning and I still said good evening. Force of habit. Welcome, you are here just in time for us to demo. Play your top trumps right. Kaiser is in. Glad I'm catching a live stream. First live stream for me. Love your channel. Thank you very much, Kaiser. I hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you in. We're just playing a little bit of a mini game right now, which you can get involved in. So Daft Joel over on YouTube has guessed for hire. Supreme Quan, what's this? A game? It is indeed. So basically, Adam has selected a card at random, and he wants us to guess whether Jorge de Frutos has higher or lower tackles 1 than Ika Munayan. He's suggested that it's going to be lower, and that's what you've all voted for. We've gone for there. We've got 9 lower, 1 higher in the poll over on Twitch. We've got 1 higher in the poll over on YouTube. Let's find out. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Let's find out. Professional streamer indeed. So there we go. Tackles 1. It is very much in Jorge de Frutos' favour, 60-30. That's a point for Adam. Hey, so who is the next player you're up against? You're going to be up against Nabil Fekir. Now, the problem is, Adam, is you do get to choose once more, but you can't choose tackles 1 again. I should have probably told you that before, shouldn't I? But that wouldn't have been anywhere near as fun. Fruity tackles from Georgie. The fruitiest of tackles. Say what you see. There's the Roy Walker reference. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I reckon higher. Bilbao presses quite a bit. That's fair. It's fair. But the W's are coming in. We did get it correct. They are all lower. So Hank is suggesting you go for goals here. What's your thinking, Hank? Do you think that it's going to be higher goals, fewer goals? What do we reckon? He will go goals. Do you want to influence them at all? Let's pop that next street. Hold on. Goals. Higher or lower? So remember, you are guessing on whether Booty George has higher or lower goals than Nabil Fekir. 1 minute. The poll is out there once again. Progressive passes and lower would have been Lukmano Panzer's suggestion. That's a fair one to go for. Didn't even know Fekir was still playing. He's a pesky little Fekir. He won't go around, you see. With an even bigger beard. The next trumps will be a beard size. It should be. That's the next only connect. It's going to be players with the biggest beards. So Adam thinks it will be lower. He's suggesting he'd like you guys to go lower, but it is entirely up to your discretion, guys. So Kaiser reckons it's going to be lower. Darth Joel reckons it's going to be lower. Quan says lower. Fekir doesn't score much. Does this include his Saudi stats? So it was in the simulations in game, so it was whilst he was at Betis. In game. So if he moved off to a league that wasn't one of the top 30, it wouldn't get included. Gotcha. Yeah, cool. Second win incoming, they reckon. Second win incoming. Into the last few seconds. We have everyone over on YouTube has gone for lower. over on Twitch, it's 7-3 lower. So we are indeed saying lower goals for Nabil Fekir's goals. Here we go. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Nabil Fekir was incredible. 0.32 goals per 90. A wonderful, and there Hank is saying he literally can play striker. Now everyone is saying, of course it is higher. We all remember. Just to make sure I'm getting this right, I'm saying lower because I think Fekir will have scored more per 90. Is that right? No, it's the other way round. Did I do it the right way the first round? So I will need to make sure the rules are a little bit clearer, but unfortunately you have lost. You've got 1 point out of this game. I say. So no, let me clear the rules. That's why we haven't done it so far, eh? There we go. I need to find a way to make it a little bit less confusing. A point is a point. And you are very, very high up. That could be the difference between first, second, or third as we come to the end of the week. Are the points going to everyone in the chat? No, Cockoops Melch. You have decided the fate of Adam. It's a bit convoluted. All good fun though. I think when I posted up on Twitter I went, it's probably a bit convoluted. But I think there's definitely some scope for maybe trying to refine it a little bit there. Right, let's switch on back over to the mainstream. Let's have a drink. And let's ask our director of football to recommend even more attacking midfielders. Oh, there's only two. There's only two available on loan. It doesn't matter what other roles I pick. So we could go for Jonathan Tedderholm at IK Sirius, second team. He's 18 years old. He did play some games for the second team last season. He's played one apparently this season. In those appearances, he registered 0 goals and 0 assists in a league that isn't active. I think we will pass on Tedderholm. How about Elliot Hintzer at Degerfors? He has played some games. He hasn't really done much. 275 minutes is not enough to judge on, let's be fair. But he doesn't look particularly encouraging in that respect. 4 cup games, 6.53 rating. The year before, he did play 11 games, score 5 goals, get 2 assists. That's a little bit more encouraging. Now, we can't really scout, unfortunately. He does dribble. Don't know where he's been playing. Let's have a look. See here in the Svenska Cupen-Gruppen. Hintzer in a 4-2-3-1. Does that look like he was playing behind the striker? So, just to the person controlling the means of production. Indeed. Can the chat share the single point? Now that would be convoluted. That would be a fun level of convoluted, I'm sure. So Hintzer was playing out on the right in that game. Not necessarily playing behind the striker. That might be why he's quite a dribbly guy. Good thing I threw then, says Cockoots Melch. Mean. Did we just win 1.7k for winning a cup? Big money. I wish the director of football was more useful. So do I. He's seriously good. Oh, that pun was there for the taking and everything. Sack the Doff. I don't want to be paying compensation. So, Hintzer played on the right there. He's same position. Looks like he's been playing on the right in all those games. So that's something to be mindful of. I would have thought that being in a position to swing some crosses in, though, he should have some more assists. Especially as he's doing okay from a dribble standpoint. So he's beating his man. Yeah, I'm not convinced that Hintzer is the man we want. Do we have anybody recommended here? We want attacking midfielders. Dylan Shambost. Was Shambos the guy we signed for AC Moneyball and he scored in his debut? He was all right. I imagine we wouldn't be able to afford him though. But anyway, I'd like to see people that have stats if possible. Maybe there's some transfer listed players that we could get in on loan. Here's Anthony Fontana. He's been scouted. He's American. As an attacking midfielder, he's also been a little bit pat. Suggesting player without report. Yep, I think it's just vibes. I think he just he goes to a random name generator and just hopes that would be enough. Yuri Tavares hasn't played enough. Arne van Kierlegom hasn't really done anything whatsoever. This is why these guys are all transfer listed, to be fair. Oscar Cole, 24 years old, 28 games, 7 goals, 2 assists. Do we have enough to know what positions he played? We don't. Not very creative, not very dribbly. Seems to probably be playing as a central midfielder for the B team there. John Bostock. There's a legend of days of old. 410 minutes, 0.50 expected assists is quite something. Transfer. What's his wage? What is his wage? His wage is 1,400. If we said loan, they would want 70%. That's a no. That's a no. Sam Dalby at Wrexham can play as a striker as well. He's 6'4". He's mainly a striker. He's barely played enough minutes at all to really make any real feeling about that. Wrexham 3.5k. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So what about those on loan? Not a single player who is loan listed. So maybe we are going through the attached. Shambosh indeed. Shambosh there. Tvaka's IF. What was Tvaka's IF? Was that one of the teams that these guys played? That's an incredible name. All the budget went to bribing just for 1.7k. Thankfully, the bribes are really, really cheap. Looks like the Feyenoord game was the one people should have chose to watch. What's the score in that game? 10 gift subs if you get Shambosh in. My word, we want Shambosh back. Do we not want to see? We could get Endrick. Don't we want Endrick? Endrick, Malaysian Endrick. He's got goals for us. He's an international. Was playing. Obviously, these are stats that aren't generated in active leagues. So I would want somebody in a league that isn't active to be really, really good at something. 5 assists and 1 goal. That's a no. That's a no. Martin Hoyland, 29-year-old. No real great information there. Was playing for Songdal. That was a league. We had that going. 5 goals, 3 assists. Doesn't necessarily fill me with confidence. Oh, Balkan, don't worry about that. I mean, we can do this. We've got plenty. We're not looking to spend money on transfer fees, so we've got more than enough, I feel. Check the loan list again. You didn't change the interest from transfer to loan. Very good point. Thank you very much, sir. There are 2 loan. Shall we sign Jaden Reed? Oh, come on. We've got to sign Jaden Reed back. He's interested in a loan return. The man who was angry at us because he couldn't learn Swedish wants to come back. Now, he's in a country that speaks the same language as him. He's in Canada. Oh. He wasn't great. 3 goals, 3 assists, 6.69 average rating. Remember that 3 of those goals, so 6 goals in total across those competitions, 3 of them were penalties. He did score the penalties though, and we lost a game because we didn't score a penalty, so that is something, right? Jasper Jalonen is the other player. Oh, look at that baby face. What a baby face that is. He's a winger. He's a winger that might be able to play behind. Doesn't look great from an attribute perspective. Hasn't played. Oh, he's played a senior game in 2023. That's for the under 23s. some senior games back in 2022, 2021 as well. But not for a while. Not for a while. In fact, 2021. So he played senior games age 15 and just hasn't kicked on from there, from the looks of things. Right, let's go back to transfer. Let's have a look at those contract status. I am a little bit intrigued as to what Shambost would want. These players can't honestly be interested. Not with the wages that we've got. So what? In order of recommendations, we've got a 31-year-old Brazilian called Rodrigo Henrique. I'm not familiar with him. He's been playing out in China and Bulgaria. Again, more of a goal scorer than a creative player, and I definitely prefer something more on the creative side. But it does look, I mean, if we can't see someone, it does look like Jaden Reed is going to be returning. Right, Jorge Hernandez. He can pass, he's got good vision, he's got good flair, he's got rubbish off the ball. 10 goals, 6 assists. But San Antonio weren't even in the USLC Western Conference. It's been a while since he's played at a reasonable level from the looks of things. Jack Payne, look at him, he's a happy chap. He's a happy chap. I'm feeling Jack Payne. I am definitely feeling Jack Payne. Feyenoord are 3-0 up at half-time. My word. It's March. Can you transfer players from Europe? We can indeed. So we can sign players as long as our window is open. Obviously, they can't sign them back. It's a thing that Jurgen Klopp complained about a lot with the Saudi window. Maybe he learned Swedish. That's all it took. He needed to go to Canada to learn Swedish. The Jalen Reed strikes back. I see what you've gone for there. Right, a former MK Dons player. That's sad. Southend. He last season, 5 goals, 3 assists in League 2 isn't really that impressive. 1.02 dribbles per game isn't that impressive either. I'm not feeling Jack Payne anymore, even with that smile. Conor Hourihane is there as an Irish international. Like Conor Hourihane, as a Villa fan, I would love to have Conor Hourihane. That would be fun. Ooh, MK Dons, indeed. Look, players got to play, right? You know, they're not responsible for the decisions of the Wimbledon board all those years ago. So Ian Poveda is a former Leeds player. He was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday. He didn't really do much either. He did dribble. He dribbled quite a lot. I do like a dribbly boy. I really like a dribbly boy. Maybe I'll just keep an eye on Engelhardt, 25-year-old Mexican. He was playing for Monarcas Morelia in the Expansion League. So that's the second division of Mexico, isn't it? He only played 7 games. Again, not particularly creative. We will never find someone. It will have to be Shambost. Oh my. A very, very experienced Tajikistani Exxon Panshambi. That is definitely not how you pronounce it. Definitely not. So I don't know much about the standard of the Tajikistan League. He didn't create many chances there either. Another former Villa player as well there. We've got Daniel Johnson. I really thought he was going to make it. Oh, look at that. Look at that beard. There's separation between the beard and the... So he's got mutton chops. He's got mutton chops and a goatee. Oh, Daniel Johnson, you are winning my heart over. 2 games and no minutes there. So that's obviously whilst he's at Jamaica. He was last at Stoke. Only 17 appearances. Not a single assist. Be still my heart, Daniel Johnson. You're no longer in contention. Rezan Korlu, a Danish 27-year-old, was playing for Lyngby, previously at Roma. 3 goals, no assists. I should just skip straight forwards to the thing. It does look like it's gonna be Shambost. It really does. Daniel Pena. Let's skip straight forwards. 4 goals, 1 assist in Australia. 26 games. No. Mackenzie Hunt. 23 years old. That's encouraging. 3 games. He did play in the Premier League last season. He played in the Premier League. He only got 3 substitute appearances. Didn't do much in terms of... let me just snooze that. Like the reserve league. But Mackenzie Hunt looks for pass rather than attempting to score, dives into tackles, can't pass, can't move, doesn't have flair. Playing in the Premier League is no longer enough. Jordan Gibson, we looked at him a little bit over the summer. Yeah, not the player for us either. Connor Hurahan, 34 years young. And in that first season, 10 assists. In that second season, 0 assists. So has he just been released? 17. Interesting. In March. So potentially released in the January transfer window. Let's see what his agent says. His agent says 1.5k a week, and I say no. Remy Cabral. Here we go. He was playing for Phoenix. That's not in the MLS. No assists. Endrick we've looked at. Donior Nauzalayev. 0 assists in Uzbekistan. Kosovic, Montenegrin. 5 assists in 24 games. That's something. Not an active league. It'd be so dope if you could access stats and data from previous seasons in game. It would indeed. We can go back to an old save, but I think at the moment we're in a position where we can see at pretty quick glance that there aren't many players that meet our criteria anyway. Thank you, Balkan. Right, Kosovic can be watched as well. Shambost, Dylan Shambost. 9 goals, 14 goal contributions. Feels like it's been the best so far, but still only 5 assists, which isn't great. Dribbles a little bit lower. That's more suggestive. Shambost is asking for 1.2k. Right. We can get him down at 1k. We will bring in Dylan Shambost. So to do that first, let's shift some over. That's only going to give us 500 in our wage budget. That's okay. He wants to be an important player. That's fine. Wants us to win a domestic cup in 2 years' time. That's fine. I can't agree to that though. In line with previous discussion, so 1.2. That is in the middle of the newly mentioned one. Let's try him down at 900 and lock that in. Not the most patient. I don't think we've dealt with Angel Lafont before. I imagine we haven't, because everyone's French. So we're saying 900 there. 3 years, we're bringing him up to 30. If I drop that down, sell on fee down to 10%. Right, he hasn't walked away. That's something at least. Does want a yearly wage rise. 5% will be €45 up a year. Appearance fee, drop that down. Okay, 10 goals and assists combined. We will do that as one big bonus. And that down at 10%. That down at 10% and 550. Shambost might be our man, Adam. Shambost might be our man. Musterman gave a nice tip that you. Sorry, look, no pants in the middle of the summer transfer window. All the stats for Pizza Chart are gone. Indeed, yes. So, absolutely, make a save point. Make a save point. Shambosh, indeed, the mighty Shambooshed. Oh, should keep a save point before the season rolls over. Says Cocky Smelsh. Exactly that. we'll have a look. I mean, I don't have any problem with pulling the plug on him if we do find someone better and cheaper in this list. Oh, and there we go. Look at that hair. Look at that hair. That could sell me. Oh, not a real league. Not a real. Well, it is a real league. It's not a big league, and I'm talking about big relative to the Valkes League as well. Palace we dismissed over the summer. Marcondes, the former Brentford player, 10 goals and 7 assists in the championship. That is quite promising. Let's see what his demands are. Oh, Adam, he wants less than Shambosh. Oh, it looks like we might have a something to go for there. Right, okay, so there is an ad about to come up. I do need to do the standing up, going to the toilet, refilling my drink, all that malarkey. So we're going to pop on a break, then we're going to come back and we're going to decide on whether Marcondes might actually be the one. See you in a moment. Done the refilling stuff, so we can come back. I think the ad break is technically still in progress, but obviously everyone pretty much is subscribed. Thanks to all you lovely people. Adam is calling for a poll on whether we should even just see whether we can agree a deal with Marcondes. He is so much against the beautiful hair of Emiliano Marcondes. So let's pop it out to vote. Let's see what you guys have to say. I mean, I know where I stand on this. I think that we want to get the best possible player we can, and if we can get one for cheaper than Dylan Shambosh, a player we've already managed before. where's the excitement behind a player we've already managed before? I mean, I get it. At the beginning of tonight's stream, I might have blamed you all for our drop in form a little bit earlier. And that's probably not the best way to go about it, but we've already managed him. We've seen what Shambosh has to offer. We know he's a good player, but we haven't managed Marcondes. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Marcondes Benz? My friends all have Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Marcondes Benz? See, you could have that, including all the pitchiness where I couldn't hit those high notes, and they're not even particularly high. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That we probably should go for Marcondes. It does look very much like it's 6-1 in favour of not offering Marcondes a contract. Let me be clear, my issue is not with Marcondes, with my treachery towards Shambosh. Balls, I voted no but meant yes, said Tatsugiri. It's okay, it would have made no difference. RJ is on my side on this. I don't like managing the same players. Yeah, but Marcondes played for Hibs, so fuck him. Fair. If Marcondes is getting a song, I'm more willing. I mean, Marcondes has the most obvious song that we've got there. It's a really, really easy one to do. And love a bit of Janis Joplin as well. Night of Knee says your friends all have Shamboshes. My friends all have Shamboshes. Indeed. There we go. Maybe we sign them both. But no, the poll has spoken. You have said no to even offering a contract. So we will pass Marcondes by. We will pass Yaya by as well. We won't even look at him. Oh, Shambosh though is a good player. I'm more than happy for us to have somebody of Shambosh's quality. Now, just before we left for the break, Tanner over on YouTube said, "What's up, Musterman? Good evening, Tanner. I hope you're doing well. How's your evening been? How was your weekend last weekend? Do let us know how you're getting on if you want to." RJ is putting words into my mouth by suggesting I said that MLS is not a real league. I was saying that the leagues that aren't the MLS weren't a real league. If anything, I was validating the MLS even more. I've already committed to Bosch. Don't do it. That seems to be the thing. I see where we're going there. Pink's wondering why is it so hard to find a damn regista. To be fair, a regista, they don't come that often. They're a dime. They're not really a dime a dozen, are they? Bish, Bash, Shambosh. Marcondes and Song equals 5 gift subs instead of 10. That's fair. I mean, I'm in this weird position where I'm like, okay, that's 10 gift subs will be absolutely incredible, lovely to reach out, and then more people within the community. It's also part of me that's like, stop giving out gift subs. You've already done enough. You're wonderful and lovely. So I also don't know if I want to encourage that behaviour. I know that's probably not the way I should be going about this, but there we go. So does Riikonen stay as our vice captain? He did make that amazing save. Matches Ayala is one of the first players on the team sheet. So we're going to warn Riikonen about losing his vice captaincy. You think I'm wrong? That's fine. Just going to let you know. I mean, I think you're a little bit rubbish, Riikonen, even if you do have good moments. Ayala is a large part. Do we have a wonder kid amongst our ranks? No, we don't. There's a shocker. Is there anyone in a unexpected team that we can't see? Preferably an actual new gen that we might keep our eye on. There was one on the first page. I'm pretty certain we've got one there. Falcone at Racing Club. We are definitely not going to be able to do that. And Aguado at Sevilla. Neither of those. And Angelo at Benfica. All definitely far, far beyond our reach. Yaya Ding Dong. It's made for it. It is indeed. It is. That's true. There's still only Connect hanging. Is there? Was there only Connect redeemed? I do apologise. There was indeed. let's go and do a little bit of Only Connect. Thank you very much, RJ, for pointing that out. I genuinely missed that entirely. Really sorry, need to dash. The missus needs a lift. Let me know if Shambosh comes in. I'm a man of my word. Well, have a lovely, lovely evening, Adam. I will keep quiet completely on that, regardless. Your Mal's not even top 10. FC Jazz are better than Utah Jazz. Quite possibly at basketball as well, incredibly. That feels unfair, but like as a Cavs fan, we don't often end up being good. So I don't get these moments where I can talk slander, talk trash about other teams. Right, Only Connect. Those that aren't familiar, maybe you're new into the stream, the rules are quite simple. You're going to see 4 pictures of players, one after the other. They all have a connection of some sort. Your job is to guess what that connection is, and the earlier you get it right, the more points you get. Nice and straightforward. So let's head straight on in. Do we know who that man is? So hey, Cavs are good this year at least. We're amazing this year. Well, I say we're amazing. We've been pretty good the last few years until the All-Star game. And then the All-Star game happens and our players come back and they suddenly forget how to play ball whatsoever. They limp into the playoffs and then got knocked out in the first round. So we need to prove that that's not going to be the case this year before we get truly on the Kenny Atkinson train. Right, so we have a correct guess. It is indeed Alan Shearer. DM basis goes for David Gindler. A very, very similar hairstyle, that's for sure. So, how can I support Cleveland teams, Musterman? I'll explain that one afterwards. Remind me to come back. Because otherwise I'll get confused and everyone will guess and someone will get 5 points just because they've had loads and loads of time to do it. So, surnames are farmer occupations, guess Lestry. A shearer, someone that shears sheep. He isn't, but I like that. Goal bangers. They are. He is a goal banger. That is true. Is he league top scorer? He was indeed, wasn't he? That was how many did he score that season? Was it just 31 or 32? And then it was Andy Cole came along and scored 34. It's not that, I'm afraid. So they played for Blackburn. It's not that either, but that's good. Yonsu is in. Good evening. You have timed this perfectly. They are best scorers of all time at their main club. That's a brilliant guess. It's not that, I'm afraid. It is top scorers who've never won a Premier League. It isn't that either. But that is, again, a really, really good. Good. So wait, he did win the league. Sorry. He did. That's a bad guess. Very good point. Obviously, famously with Blackburn. Relegated in their only managerial job, says Leicester. It's not that, I'm afraid. Same first name. Could have been. It could have been. It's not, unfortunately. League goal record, says Mr. Tuner. It isn't. All rejected Man United. It didn't either. Won one league title. Sorry, Spurs player. Indeed, it's bad timing on that one. Vulcan has gone for team captains. It isn't team captains, but yes, they definitely were. I wonder if the latter players were. I'm not sure on at least one of them. Vlahovic 1-0. Wahey. So they all had season-ending knee injuries. Oh, that is fair. It's not what we're going for, but that is a really, really good guess. I mean, did Ledley King ever have a season-ending one? Because it's like he spent his whole career with the knee injury, didn't he? He couldn't train. He was like the Paul McGrath of his time. So yes, whilst we move on to the next clue. So Quan, Aston Villa were bought by Randy Lerner, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, in 2006. So being that I was getting into American football because I worked in pubs, so I'd finish at like 1 a.m. Perfect time to see NFL on a Thursday night or Sunday or Monday night. So because Randy Lerner bought Aston Villa, I thought, well, I might as well support that club. And that was kind of like, now I've got a connection to a club in America, I might as well just stick with Cleveland. And I've kind of regretted it ever since. So do we know who the two-point player is here? RJ says, now again, it's 2 Premier League. It is indeed, I'm afraid, RJ. We tried to balance it out. We had a healthy smattering of Norwegian and Spanish, and who was the middle player? And American players for the first one. But this is very much a British themed one. So Jons is correct. That is indeed Philip Billing, and it's followed by Leicester guessing the fastest goals in the Premier League. Philip Billing has scored the second fastest goal in the Premier League, to be fair. Ledley King has scored the third fastest. Alan Shearer has scored the fourth fastest. That's because Shane Long was the next one up, because it is indeed quick finishers. Alan Shearer in 10.52 seconds, Ledley King in 9.82, Philip Billing in 9.11, and Shane Long in 7.69 seconds. Give that man a round of applause. A fantastic 2 points from Leicester there. Well done, sir. So only played in England was another guess, unfortunately. Jobs' last name. Shearer, certainly. King, certainly. Billing, billing is a thing you do. They are all words. And I know that sounds stupid. All of their surnames are words. Shearer, someone who shears. King, Billing, and Long. That's obviously not the connection, but yeah, well done to Leicester. Who's the Spurs player again? It's Ledley King. DM Basis says Pog. That is indeed. Yonsa went for players mentioned in Peter Crouch's autobiography. There must be a lot of players mentioned in that. That would be an interesting one. Ooh. So Nunes is going out on loan. Can we give him a little target? How much playing time? You will be a squad player. And we will go for a goal target of 10. And now he can be really unhappy because he doesn't meet it, and he'll blame me for him not meeting it whilst he's out on loan. You know, the standard thing. Right, they're baiting us to bid on Mark Honest. Let's see if Shambos comes in. I relate to them a lot, to be honest, with fast finish. Wait, what? Indeed, Leicester. Indeed. No time for foreplay. No time for foreplay whatsoever. No Willie, no party. It's a different type of party with no Willie, that's true. But sometimes the lack of Willie can really help things. Goodbye, champ. He's only away for a little while. He'll go on loan. He'll get some game time. Hopefully, he'll bang the goals in, and we can have him back ready to really contribute. Right, so Shambosh. Here he is. He is back reunited. Maybe this time, hopefully, with a team that doesn't suck ass. Because we really sucked AC Moneyball, didn't we? Anything I've missed in the actual save? Oh, Yonsa, you have missed something massive. You have missed the most momentous moment ever in the history of IFK Mariehamn. If you exclude them winning the league in 2016, or if you exclude them winning the Swarman Cup. Of course, what I mean is that we won the Liigacup. We got revenge against Ilves away from home in the semi-final, winning 2-0, and then we managed to shut out FC Latte. They didn't have a single shot on target. Arvid Lundberg scored a double. We have our first bit of silverware. So they're unhappy with Shambos' recent form, but they are happy that we signed him. So we are going to teach him Swedish, and we're going to welcome him here. Swedish is the official language, so that will be the focus there. And we're being linked with a guy called Diego Gutierrez, a player we know nothing about. Plays for Gavilanes in Mexico. That's not Liga MX or the expansion league. That would be a bold move indeed. He'll blame you for not drawing his face and ask for transfer. That is, we can still get his face done. Absolutely. And there's another injury. Saku Savalainen, 10 days. So he's going to miss the season opener. There's more than 10 days until our second game, so we should only miss the one. Let's do squad number. Dylan Shambost can get the number 10. 10 is a good number for an attacking midfielder. Adam's not here to see us giving a proper number to a player. I feel guilty now. Scotland will come in there. So Rockman drops to the bench. Willie Nunes drops down to the under-20s. Oh, I've accidentally pushed on the thing. And so we've got... Oh, Savalainen comes out as well, doesn't he? Just a bruised head. Oh, we're going to keep him in just in case. Oh, are there only 7 subs? There's only 7 subs. I don't need to call someone up. So there we go. So, Juhi, attacking midfielder, striker. We don't really have any cover on the fullback positions, but we can swing Fonsell out, potentially swing Dahlstrom out if we need to. I think we should be okay with that. Forstrom can't really get in ahead of Kuitunen at the moment. Kuitunen has taken his opportunities. Oh, I look forward to seeing that title win on VOD later. It was an amazing moment. We signed another goalkeeper on loan, and that seemed to be the catalyst yet again for Riikonen to turn into the good version of Riikonen. He made a phenomenal shot. A shot that deflected from about 5 yards out. Reflex save, gets down low, pushes it away, gets up immediately to claim the cross that follows. Beautiful, beautiful moment. I forgive him for most things. Not everything. You know, we can't give forgiveness in perpetuity. So here we go. First game of the season against Ekenas is finally here. Well, I say finally here. It's still a day away. Gabri Garcia is laying down some smack. Who on earth are you, Gabri Garcia? You have been at Ekenas for 3 years. And what do you have to show for it? Yeah, what do you have to show for it? Milestones. You won the Ikonen in 2023. That is it. That is your... Oh no, there was some more. You failed to qualify from Liigacup. That's an achievement. That's an achievement for you, Gabri Garcia. You finished 9th in the league, Gabri Garcia. You were knocked out in the Swarman Cup by SJK. They're not even in this division anymore. You are my new enemy. But unfortunately, I've given press conferences to someone else, so I can't respond to it. City, 65% possession, 1 shot on target. Oh dear, it's just not getting better. It's not getting better for them, is it? Jonsa, fun fact about Riikonen. In real life last season, he was one of only 3 players to play every minute in the Valkensliga. Interesting. I would have thought, like, goalkeeper's a position that you expect a lot of players to play every minute. But fair play to... I mean, to be fair, the backup keeper in game was their coach, so it kind of makes sense as long as he stays fit. Here we go. Competition review. They want us to be top half. Competitive in the cup, that's fine. Adam Larsson will trigger an automatic 1-year extension should he appear in 10 league games. Okay. And we avoid relegation. I might be keen to try and do that, because then we keep him around and then we can look to try and sell him in the following summer. Rather than have him as a bit part player, can do well, and us lose him on a free. Can you have a quick look at the Ekenas staff to look to see if there's a Portuguese chap named Hugo? Just transferred to one of my local clubs, so I'd be interested to see how he looks. Well, I have no attributes on for staff whatsoever, Jonso, I'm afraid. So yes, we'll definitely go have a look, but I won't necessarily be able to give you any information. So, a look here, we've got... I can't see a Hugo of any sort. The reserve squad. There's a Hugo Enriquez in the reserve coach. He's got national reputation. Been with Ekenas for a few years. Otherwise, looks like some teams I haven't heard of before. And then we've spent a year at Sporting. Bit of time at Vasco Gama Fatima, which I guess is their youth side. Yeah, unfortunately, that's all the information I have for you. Now, that should be him. Right, here we go. The 4-3-3. They've beaten us in the past. Enqvist is injured, we've got to remember. So, Enqvist is injured. Savalainen is injured. Is it going to be okay? Bonsell out there. Jala Dahlstrom, Skoglund in. Shambost can make his debut a little bit later. Our standard strike force. I think I think this might be a tough game for us. I think this might be a rather tricky one for us to deal with. So after I was saying all those mean things about Gabri Garcia, He might get one up on us. Right, Crab Lungs is in. Sorry I'm late to the party, Musterman. I've been cleaning out my quails. That's perfectly understandable. It's always important to clean out your quails. You haven't missed much. We won our first bit of silverware. We won the Liigacup. And this is now the first league game of the season. We have currently got 0 attacking midfielders and 0 left backs because they've all been injured. Most of them are only a little bit away, but we lost Robin Sid for 5 months, 4 or 5 months maybe. I think we sent him to a specialist in the end, so it might actually only be 4 months. And then we lost our new striker, our new attacking midfielder, Skoglund. He's just come back from injury. And then our young attacking midfielder, Rockman, the man with a wonderful smirk, is now out for like 3 or 4 weeks, which is a little bit of a concern. But here we go. We can do this. We were good towards the tail end of last season. We know that this system kind of works, as Olawale has found Ajala out wide. Lovely little tuck inside. Oh, that was close. Outside of the boot. Almost steered it into the far corner. That would have been a nice way to start things off. Hip injury, 3 to 4 months out, Sid. Yeah. So it was 3 to 4 months with the specialist, wasn't it? And it would have been longer with the physio. And we could have given him injections and he would have been out for 7 months. So glad you understand. Sorry to hear about injury woes. Thanks for the summary. There we go. It's nice when we can do it quite quickly. It's Dahlstrom. Okay, that's some odd goalkeeping from Luis Paulo. Seemed to be caught completely unaware, but it went over. Now, is this a chance for Ekenas to build from deep? It is indeed. Remember, last time we played out against them, they scored with their first 2 shots on target. It was looking very, very much like an FMing at that point. Could this happen again? We started well. Lindholm outside the boot as well, but that's a block by Akereke. It's currently in for our left back. He's been pushed into midfield, whilst Fonsell has been swung out onto the left. That does mean we lose some of the effectiveness that we had with Enquist. So there is some concerns, but the chance to come down our right side. Lundberg is going to be on free kicks. He's going to swing it into the far post. Olawale back to Brighton. That's 1-0. That is 1-0. Get in. Right, there we go. Put some of those ghosts behind us. We've swinged in by Lundberg. Olawale knocks it down. It takes a little deflection. Luis Paulo goes to ground early and Reisner pokes it in at the near post. 1-0. Beautiful, beautiful moment. It hasn't been the most fluid of games so far. We don't mind too much about possession. We're stopping them from having chances, which is good, but we're not really looking that dangerous ourselves. Now, Malandama cuts inside, creates space, F him off on the edge of the area. Riikonen doesn't just save it, he holds on. Riikonen under pressure is the best kind of Riikonen. Sends it long to Lundberg. He heads it on. Olawale is in behind. Olawale makes it 2-0. Is that offside? Is that offside? It isn't offside. The referee's doing nothing. We're 2-0 up. Get in. Dortmund 1. Broke Club 1. Who scored the goal for Dortmund? Look at that. That is exactly the kind of football we want to see with a target forward and advance forward, isn't it? That is exactly what a target forward, advance forward partnership should be. Long ball forward, hit it on. In behind is Olawale. Guirassy scored the goal. Penalty. Right, fair enough. I do hope that Guirassy works out at Dortmund. He's a really, really good player, and Dortmund need a striker, I think, of his style. Jons as well, yes, yeah. Right, we've scored our only good shots on target. This is revenge for last time out, evidently. Very little of the ball, but they haven't really created chances. 4 shots for 0.27 XG is perfectly fine by me. I would like to see where our play, a lot of it is going through Dahlstrom. Number 13 is Skoglund. He has barely been involved at all. He is coming back from injury, but that is a concern. But I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to change it because that's what we did in the last stream, and everything fell apart. So we'll just have to accept him being rubbish. Right, so we get the ball in here. We're not really advancing it particularly well. That's my only concern in that regard. So I'm going to ask Dahlstrom. Do I want to say more direct, get him to push it forwards? Yeah, we're going with more direct with Dahlstrom. Let's see if that will encourage him to play it into Skoglund or try and find Olawale or push Ajala down the wing a little bit. 2-0 is a horrible, horrible scoreline. 0-2 strikes again. Indeed. I'm really hoping that Maxi Bayer works out at Dortmund. Never fall in love with a lone player, they said. Never fall in love with a lone player. It's one of the things like the Villa forums or whatever. Fofana was in behind straight away and Riikonen stands tall. It was offside, but Riikonen again proving his worth. Big moment for the young keeper there. Yeah, like with the Villa forums, any times we had a lone player, the next 3 or 4 years are just people saying, can we sign them again? Can we bring them back on a permanent? You're like, we need to move past it. As Rickstad hits the post, we are living dangerously. We are living very, very dangerously. Right, stop doing more direct passes. Let's try and get a little bit of control on there. This is not a good start to the second half. Right, so throw in once again. Taimi. Back to F1. It's sent in. Riikonen should be able to claim that quite easily. Whilst they're doing that stuff, let's have a look at the momentum chart. Riikonen sends it long. Lundberg can't win the head on this time. Lindholm gets in ahead of his man. Taimi to Efimov. Efimov going to play it out wide. No, he's going to play it back. This time they go down to Rickstad. It's across Lindholm. Fofana's turns. He's managed to beat the man. And that is 2-1. The change has made absolutely bugger all difference. There's a lovely turn from Fofana. A little bit of a weak challenge from Machado. Slid in but didn't get even it. Close to the ball. Here we go. Machado. I think he got a touch on it, to be fair, but just not enough to get it away from him. Fofana was able to get there before Riikonen. It's a shame that he saved the offside one and not that one, but you can't blame him there. Right, we're going long. Just 4 minutes since they pulled a goal back. Rickstad again. Lexel. Rickstad. Back again. Let's apply some of the pressure. We are meant to pressure. Oh, we're not actually. We're mid-block, aren't we? Ajala makes the challenge. He sends it forward to Olawale straight away. Olawale, can he use his pace? He swings the ball in. Lundberg can't get there. But it's back to Olawale, whose cross once again doesn't make it. Dahlstrom from distance ripples the top of the net. That would have been something special indeed. So let's focus, guys. Let's start to make some changes. Skoglund has been anonymous, and on comes Shambosh for his debut. Shambosh for his debut. Ajala, Fonsell, Okereke has been booked, so Enquist, Forsström. Who do we bring on? Enquist is not particularly fit. Forsström is left-footed. So actually we keep Fonsell out wide. No, we don't. No, we don't. So Fonsell tucks inside. Forsström isn't the man coming on. It's going to be Adam Larsson. And that means that Olawale is coming. Because he can play that role, at least we have someone that can kind of do something there. Just maybe to keep our wide players a little bit fresh. We're going to need to bring Dahlstrom off in a moment as well. Paolo3215434, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you are doing well. Do let us know who you're playing with in FM. Let us know who you support. Obviously, only if you feel comfortable in chat. There is no obligation whatsoever. We are hoping, we're not going to hold on, are we? Riikonen claims. It seems to be all Ekinas this half. We've tried to kill the tempo a little bit. That hasn't done much at all. It's another ball, long ball over the top. Rickstad cuts inside, finds Efimov. We need to pay attention to Rickstad. Let's mark him. We also need to be wary of them sending the ball long. So let's trigger our press on these guys here. They are with our high line and medium block, they're getting in behind. So that actually means I'm pushing the line up. If being that high doesn't make any difference, let's engage them and let's try and stop them before they send the ball long. We'll go back to increasing our tempo a little. They are having a lot of the ball, so let's try and counter. Let's see if that can hopefully see us out a little bit. So RJ says, I still don't understand what people see in Doku that I don't see. he's really good at beating a man. Just needs to work on his final ball. I don't know. He has 1 foot, 1 dribble. He's fast, sure. Fast is good. It's overpowered, some might say. To be honest, I think he's very good, but on the wrong team, said Hank. That's fair. Needs to be on a more counter-attacking team. 100%. He would cause absolute devastation in a team like Tottenham. Imagine all those transitions. And Shambos on his debut. That could have been the moment. That Shambos, for the second time in a Mustermann-managed team, scores on his debut. It wasn't to be, though. Here we are. It's breakdown after a free kick. Is this going to be us getting caught in possession? They have pushed us all the way back. Now Machado with the ball. Back to Reitinen. Can they play it out wide? There was space for Olawale. Would have been a nice ball to play. Might be a bit difficult. Poncel, tightly marked. Has to go back. Ajala. Ajala is going to try and take his man on. Swings it in with his right boot. With his left boot even. Shambos there gets his head to it, but it's unfortunately over. Does feel like the changes we've made seem to have had a decent impact on momentum. Here we are now, 12 minutes to go. A throw in on the left. Dahlstrom takes aim from a long way out. It's 2-0. McKennie. Juventus and that Hank. It's like a reflex action. USA indeed. Another useless 65% possession game. The best kind of 65% possession game. You don't want to score goals. I'd take Doku at Hanover. Could be a good option off the bench. A bold statement, Jonsa. A bold statement. Right, so we need to make changes. We need to bring Dahlstrom off. That means that Yuhi is coming on. Enquist now is more healthy than Ajala, so that could be that change. I should have put time wasting on, but I didn't. Here we go. Can we get a third? There's Enquist. Adam Larsson scored a goal. Adam Larsson. And that means that this VOD will get demonetized because Duck Sauce are very, very unhappy with us using that. Nobody else cares. Oh no, it's playing again. Stop. I meant to pause the game, not press space on that. The last change needs to come in. That's going to be Jimmy Slayman hasn't played for a couple of games. Bring on the Slayman to see things out. Adam Larsson, what a player. He's not that good, has he, for us to be fair? Maybe he can be. Is this a chance for them to pull one back? Make it really nervy into the final match. João Paulo has space, comes off the bar, hits Riikonen, who managed to get it clear. Malandama, though, can swing it back in, and Riikonen makes the claim. That's got to be full-time, ref. That's got to be full-time. We are over the 5 minutes of injury time. Enquist manages to step in and clear. Come on, ref. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for that. There we go. 3-1. That is a good result. We're going to win the fucking league. Damn right, DM bassist. Damn right. There we go. A nervy second half. After trying a number of different things to bring momentum back our way, we eventually stumbled on something that worked. And that's what it is. It's trial and error. Got to keep on trying, right? So that puts us behind AC Oulu. Oulu were a team that struggled last season, but a massive 4-1 win over FC Hacker to kick things off. That is some marvellous stuff. Right, so, where were we? Jonsa was going to take Doku at Hanover for a bench player. RJ agrees that the ref is taking his time. We're going to win the league. Congratulations for winning the Liigacup, says Al Norby. Thank you very much. We finally have some silverware. Take that, random manager. I forgot the name. Gabri Garcia, the man who decided to throw shade. And that's what you get. Gabri Garcia. The Bundesliga's Vi has been mental this season. It's pretty much halfway through, and 1 to 11 are all in a promotion battle, with I believe 6 points in between them. Incredible stuff. Incredible. Oh, look at Olawale there, player of the match. What a player. What a player he is. A goal, and then back into his right wing back slot for an assist. 3 key passes. He won 3 headers out of 5. He's okay in terms of height. He's got good jumping, doesn't he? Good jumping, not so good heading. His decision making allegedly is poor, but 5 goal contributions in 8 games is not quite as impressive as his one towards the end of the season. Lundberg's got 5 goals in 8 games and two assists as well. Not too bad. Jurassic Brace in the Dortmund game. Fabulous. A few months' time in the news, Gabriel Garcia sacked while we win the league. Exactly. Just for those comments. Can we? Let's just do the follow. Let's keep an eye on Gabriel Garcia and just make sure we add a note. Bit of a dick. Just so that every time he comes up, we can remind ourselves that we don't like Gabriel Garcia. Because I'll be honest, I'll probably forget by the next stream. And that's no fun. We want to build these rivalry ups whilst we're out here. So why are you scouting one of my players? We only just signed him. Chill. He's playing games for us. So I didn't check, did I? What does the Liigacup do for us other than our mega prize pool that we got? There is absolutely nothing there in terms of that. Terracing is permitted in stadiums, apparently, for no fans to attend. Just a competition that exists because it exists. Yeah, fair enough. Right, okay. So, good note. It is a good note, isn't it? I think that is probably the right time to bring things to an end this evening. I've got a video to edit for Friday, which I've got to say, it's hard for me to express because you would expect that as a content creator that, I'm going to engage in hyperbole and I'm going to say that everything I do is the most wonderful thing ever. Whereas, generally speaking, I often don't feel... once I get to finishing a video and getting it ready to be released, I never quite feel 100%. It's always a bit of a compromise. There's things that you want to do and don't necessarily have the technical ability to actually achieve. I am really, really excited about Friday's video. Genuinely, I'm so happy. We're looking at Federico Javier Garcia Pimienta, everyone's favourite type of cheese. That's a manager that we don't really get much coverage on. We've got elements of positional play. We've got elements of relationism. It works in Football Manager. So when I say it works, I'm not talking about its level of success. I mean that you can go through a process, select things that make sense, and then the football that you see looks like the football you're looking for. So I'm really excited for that. But that does mean I need to get it finished. So yeah, we're going to call it quits there. I'd like to say a huge, massive thank you for everyone who's come along. I'm going to end the stream over